Hey!
LegendaryAction. I'm a dungeon master and I guess kind of host, whatever, of this humble little channel. Yeah.
He's a guy.
We're a bunch of unapologetic nerds who like playing Dungeons and Dragons. Well,
this hobbit hole.
Yeah.
This hobbit hole.
This dirty hobbit hole.
if you like foul
Climbing a hole.
language, violent imagery, this is the place for you.
Everything being in the center.
And this being the center of everything, according to our bard, this is where you should be.
The center of everything important in life.
So are we in the center of Twitch?
Everything, yeah, we are the center.
We are the center of Twitch currently, yes.
The center of all that is Twitch.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
And our owl agrees. Hold on, let me just
Used to be
do something real quick here.
The graphic content performed here was performed by professionals?
Professionals. Yeah.
This is being performed in front of a live studio audience.
Cue laugh track.
Well, you're not supposed to say that.
Laugh, damn it. Laugh. Laugh.
We're not allowed to leave.
Do you not?
They're really not. They don't go
Yeah,
anywhere.
you can't.
I just lock them in a room. And I feed them like pancakes throughout the week.
Make pancakes, make pancakes.
This is a
Make
secret location.
pancakes, that's what we're gonna make
Rowan's
pancakes.
significant other has been wondering where he's been for months.
Has she, though? Has she
I
been
know,
wondering?
she's
No,
going,
as long as the check keeps showing up in the mail, she doesn't care.
Oh, that's messed up. That's messed
Hey!
up. She doesn't love you, Rowan. She just loves your money.
Hi, Astro.
Oh, this is when it's real. Oh.
Astral, what is up, Mike? Hi.
Yo.
How's it going? I'll grow whatever, doesn't matter. I don't care.
You're
all
the diamond guy.
here. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thanks for
What
showing
the
up.
heck?
I'm happy you're here. Better luck next time on Magic the Gathering, though. Better luck next time.
Yeah, I'm sorry Mike's a dick.
Yeah, they're both pieces of
How dare you insinuate I'm a dick?
It's not your fault. I actually kicked the shit out
It's
of him a
not
couple
an
times, and I feel
insinuation,
really
it's a
bad.
I was about to say, yeah.
Insinuation is a
What's
mild
wrong with
suggestion.
that,
He
guys?
said you're a dick.
You know?
It's a statement of fact. I do declare.
My goodness.
I do declare.
I do declare that's not how us chickens do.
What kind of chicken are you, son?
Welcome to the Skit Hour. and Alex.
Are you a chicken hawk?
We're not gonna do
When you
this
guys
for
are
an
done, we can
hour,
get through it.
really.
Yeah, we can. Well, just let me know when you guys are done, and we'll just continue.
Well, I say, I do declare it is some time for us to be playing some D&D.
Man, this skit was really great, but it's really derailed. You know, at first it was like a 5, but now it's like a 2. You know, like.
See, I knew when to stop talking. That was the minute, like, Andy said something.
I have a disability.
It has nothing to do with what we're discussing right now.
You're not special at this table anymore, man. I have one too.
If you
You're out of order, sir.
I will learn shut up and sign. I have no excuses.
What is shut up and sign?
I'm illiterate. I can't read sign language, sir.
I'm gonna hold up a giant sign that just says stop.
You read that?
Just go get a stop sign.
I do declare.
There's something weird about that soft sign.
I'm a southern weird, and I do say.
We can't keep slowing down every soft yelled in one bay sign.
Thank you.
Wait, what?
Rock hard place. I
Yeah.
love this.
It's so good.
What's
It's
the
a great
Yale
puzzles. You ever try going mad without power? It's great. Listens to you.
Yeah. Oh,
That's how I feel like as the DM sometimes. I'm like, I have all the power, therefore they respect
Sir,
me.
I think you've gone mad with power.
Respect.
Of course I have. You ever gone mad without power?
There is
Nobody
such
listens
thing as
to
a
you.
Yale sign.
Yelled.
Yeah.
Y-I-E-L-D? Yield?
What?
No, see, that would be if Homer had spelt it correctly. But he spelt it Y-E-L-D, so yelled.
Yeah. That's the joke.
That's the joke.
I am so smart. SMRT.
I love that.
SMRT.
SMRT. S-O-P.
Something weird about that soft sign.
Weird. That's.
I feel like that's a D&D thing, dude. We should meme that somewhere. Like, there's something strange with that fucking that door or that chest or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like straight and ready, a mimic ready to eat you.
An illiterate mimic, I do say.
I just can't put my finger on it. It feels like there's undead nearby.
My hand is
Dude.
just stopped to
Right on the other side of the wall.
I like the idea of there being a chest that has a sign on it that says, "Yes, I am chest," and chest is like K-H-E-S-T. What's so weird about that chest? I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. I is chest.
There's something weird about that chest.
It's just a buff dude's chest. It's not even a box.
Oh, wordplay.
Wordplay. We're funny. At least I think we are most of the time. Whatever.
We have
make
our
each other
moments.
laugh. That's what we're here for.
We try.
Not really. So thank you everybody for hanging out, Astral. We're gonna hit you with this again, even though you heard it yesterday too. But you know what, dude? Like, you're the one in the audience, so this is directed at you. This is one-on-one time. Like, so, you know, this comes to you directly. You're already followed, but we're doing a follower giveaway.
Tell your friends.
If you're here after we hit 500 followers, you can win the Dungeons & Dragons 5e Core Rulebook 6 limited edition version with minis and dice and some fudge from Fudge Love and Craze, your choice of flavors. And from what he told us last night, he just added chocolate chip mocha to his counting bar.
Using real coffee.
Using real coffee, so it's going to give you that real caffeine kick. It's not going to taste like caffeine, it's going to have it.
Gasoline and sugar.
Now, they can make it better is if they're espresso chips, man. I'm telling you, dude.
Oh no.
You know what's great with D&D? Orange laced with coffee. Woo!
Now I know what I'm ordering. I'm just gonna give all of us that before.
Yeah, or just give it to children when you babysit and then leave.
I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna toss it to a rotten fucking macho man over there.
Over here, cream of the crop, and the cream always rises to the top. Over here, get me all pumped up. I'm the greatest in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. I'm the macho man.
You guys. It's fucking special. But yeah, so that's a little ad that was directed just for
Bacon
you. It wasn't
pancakes flavored
scripted or
fudge.
nothing, I promise. That's just for you, Astral. So, you know, we appreciate you hanging out and being here with us and
Yes, there's
going
bacon
on this
pancakes.
incredible journey.
He wants bacon pancakes.
Bacon
Bacon
pancake?
pancakes.
Fudge.
Bacon.
Fudge?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Gotta ask Jammer one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to ask Jammer one about that one. I don't know if that's on his list of flavors he's done yet. You have to choose through his inventory. That's what I'm saying. He just added mocha chocolate chip or whatever. So if that's what you're into, then you know, good on you. I'll tell you right now, if you like Shamrock Shakes from McDonald's, he's got some real good one right there, man. Ooh, yummy. And the orange cream, which is my favorite flavor of almost everything. Yes, really good.
Bacon
Even this
pancakes.
is regular chocolate was good.
Yeah, regular chocolate. The
Hard to
classics.
go wrong with chocolate.
Yeah.
That's a chocolate.
Except for that nasty white
The
chocolate.
cookies and cream
I
was.
disagree.
I think the
Gross.
cookies and cream was all right, but it
Bought that up.
something about it. I don't think there was enough cookie in it to me. It was too
Too much cream, not enough cookie?
Well, it was
It was like
probably the
chocolate.
nature of the way it was made. It just none of the Oreo wasn't crunchy, so
Yeah.
you
No
nasty.
texture.
That's
to it.
good.
the texture of it just it kind of threw me off. Well, this tastes like Oreo and cream, but I'm not getting that Oreo crunch, so it's it's not Oreo cream to me. So a little bit of fair criticism there, General. Take it or leave it, whatever, dude. But make sure your Oreos are crunchy in your fudge.
But it wasn't
That's hard to do.
Oreo. It was cookies and cream.
That's
All right, we're just gonna let that
Whoa.
go. I don't want to get into this right now, okay?
but that's what
Could be a different
She's over
But-
here like, you're an idiot.
But
No, it's Oreos.
No, because then it would just be brittle. That's not what I'm asking for. Fudge. What I'm asking for is to make sure that there's a crunch to the cookie texture inside the fudge.
Just take the fudge out to your car and leave it there to bake in the sun for a few days and come back.
Yeah, it would melt. It's fudge.
Yeah, it would melt, but then it would like lose all its hydration and become crusty.
and then you refreeze it.
lights.
Yeah.
Then it's as crunchy as you want.
Rest in the bottom.
No, that's true. We can't afford the electricity around here with all this lighting on top of the lighting in the studio fridge.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm just gonna start
Why am I
asking you
logged
guys
into
all
that?
for $10 a month to kick towards paying for the electric, dude.
That
I'm
is
like, listen,
wrong.
I'm like, listen, it's $10.
I have not passed go, so
Well, look, that's not. I did
Yeah,
that.
That's fair.
It's not my fault your company's
What
not
did you
profitable,
Yeah,
Mr.
Dylan hasn't
Green.
made it
what
all the
name
way
is
around
next to
the table
fudge?
yet, so Matt's the next closest.
Shit. Yeah.
Come on.
That's not me.
Welcome to the show, Matt. Give me money.
Give me money.
yeah.
Okay.
Because anybody who sat in the DM seat has
Friend
passed
of the
go.
bar.
So
Great actor.
Alex. I got it, Matt. Yeah. The
Yeah,
three of you.
That's a humble
$10.
title.
shit.
if you're a DM, raise your hand.
Oh, there's Queen Beezy. Hey, Ron was talking shit about you
No,
earlier.
no. It's not Queen Busy. She's logged in here. I went and did the fudge command. And
And I told Rowan it's all a lie. Brenda's now a paid actor, and I don't believe him anymore.
So, right? Is she some like some talent hire that you brought in. Yeah, this is my lady. This is my lady. I swear, I act like my lady.
She's actually, she's actually in the studio over, and I just kind of like picked her up. I was like, "Hey, what you doing? You want to make some money?"
That sounds dangerously close.
That sounds like a Nevada thing.
It's Nevada. It's legal.
Yeah, that's you're skimming that line of escort very hard.
Hey,
I can't believe those are illegal.
Escorts aren't illegal. Only if you're having sex with them.
Yeah,
she was a
but
paid
only if
actress.
you're paying for the sex.
Mhm,
So
exactly.
if it's not part of the package, and then after you conclude your business, you decide to do the dirty, it's legal.
There's nothing wrong with leaving.
It's
them
like,
a
listen, we
tip.
all know what you're freaking doing, all right? We all know what you're doing.
These are for audience elsewhere in the world. These are deep Nevada talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, deep Nevada
This is
talk.
Nevada talk, legit.
Battleborn, baby.
We actually had prostitution, legal prostitution in some areas came up on the ballot very recently.
Yeah, Lyon County, in fact.
Yep.
Yeah,
So this is legit,
we passed it.
us
Hell
as
yeah.
Madden's.
Dude,
Yeah,
hell
well,
yeah, it should
yeah.
be illegal.
You got to. We passed drugs. You gotta have the hookers.
Dude, this
Yeah.
country was built on hookers.
And-
Okay, I want to hear that it wasn't.
And
The West
is 100%
definitely.
Yes.
Like, as long as you're filming it like it's amateur pornography, it's not.
That's true. That is true.
Although
Both actors have to be paid.
Although yes, both actors have to be paid, and you need what is it
A license?
You need all that other stuff that comes over there.
Yeah,
Wait, there's a
they have
porn
to be
license?
licensed. There's a license that's independent contractors.
I think you guys are just thinking about backups for all this very expensive cameras.
Man, what are we gonna do?
I'd be lying if I said I
I
hadn't
have yet
considered
to invite someone here to the dungeon. That's what I'm saying. That's not a great pickup line. That is not a way to win someone over.
Hey, you wanna come to my dungeon?
it. I don't want to come on too strong, but you want to come over to my dungeon? Is it a sex dungeon? No, it's just a dungeon.
Just a regular dungeon.
Just bring the dungeon.
Hey, you wanna come over to my dungeon? I'll show you my dragon.
Yeah. That's a real first date.
No,
Like
you
a
just have to
LARPing.
tell them, I need you
No, we're
to
going to the
role
dungeon.
play.
Okay.
And they're like, what?
Yeah,
I
you-
need
Do you want to come roleplay in our dungeon?
I
There's
need
usually
you
dragons.
to be this person. They're like, what?
Hey, speaking of
Hand them a
Jammer, good
character
evening,
sheet.
Jammer.
Dude, take it a step farther.
Legendary action
Arcade,
official,
you know?
not live on Pornhub.
Good
Yeah,
evening.
we're busy not looking our best for your brand, Mr. Jammer.
Hey, thank
I
you.
make
thanks for the
things
bit.
up.
Welcome to the channel. I make things up.
Hey, make things up. What is going on?
That's what
Welcome.
D&D is all
We
about.
make things up.
Right.
Yeah. Did you make those
I
100
make
bits
a
up?
lot of this up. Like almost all of it.
said it was
You're doing good. Stay to the script.
It's kind of like when I'm at work and I just fake it till the end of the day
I used to
happens.
walk around
You do
holding
that
a
too?
clipboard all the time at work and pretend I was doing stuff. It never bothered me.
No, I do stuff. I just fake like I know what I'm doing. And then
Well,
pretty
to
soon
be
it's...
fair, no. I'm gonna be nice because we do know for a fact your boss has dropped into the stream every once in a while. So I'm just gonna be nice here. You should be careful about that too.
But you're
I
cool.
should. My boss supports me in my career development at work and away from work.
Clip
That
it.
must be nice.
Clip it and share
Keep
it.
reading from the script. Keep reading from the script.
Alex, catch him on Alex the Bud.
But you gotta put espresso chips.
No, we're not saying D&D isn't real because it's real in the hearts and minds of the players and the place we inhabit. What I'm saying no
Even
is
when we die.
I made it up.
I knew something wasn't right about this whole thing.
Well, now the illusion is gone and I have to go.
I was here for the treasure, so you're saying there's no treasure. That's all made
The
up.
treasure is the friendships you made at the table.
Oh, that's a bunch of trash.
I don't believe this at all. Untie me.
Untie me. I'm not into this anymore. Caterpillar,
The
caterpillar.
whole point of tying you was that you didn't have a choice.
we said untie us, Andy.
Listen, we've
All right,
withdrawn our
sit here.
consent. This is
I'll
not
go
good
get the key
anymore.
and I'll be back.
Where's Dad going, guys?
Next week. Where's Dad gone? He's so gone.
Stuff just arrive at the doorstop. Grubhub.
How are we going to get to it?
All of us together could move this heavy ass table.
Well, there you go.
It would definitely come apart.
Yeah, it would definitely fall apart.
So there's, I mean, you're not really chained here.
Hashtag unchain the players.
Listen, you don't understand. If I didn't chain them to the table, they wouldn't participate.
This hashtag catches on. You'll never catch on.
I hope it does. Just like we become famous like years later. Hashtag unchain the players. I was like, what the hell does that mean?
Infamous. That's not something you want to be famous for.
No, I'm saying that like.
Remember that time you were kidnapped and forced to play D&D?
I'm hanging out, chatting with,
Hey.
with our supporters here.
Hi. What does P-nose ice cone mean?
I don't really want to get into Juris' sick mind this time. I don't want to do it. I've seen the stuff he types in all his chat.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to into it, but listen here, Juris. DM me.
It's gonna be a good night.
We're hoping, you know?
Yeah. I rolled a 20.
Oh, okay.
So you wasted a
Yeah,
good
I'm glad
20?
you wasted it.
Don't
Yeah.
look at us. We're conniving over here.
I don't waste 20s, okay? I roll them way too often to waste them.
I mean, we have some backup characters that Mike and I have bets on who dies first.
Can I anime wave you back, Juris? You just, you know?
You have to say konbanwa.
No, I don't.
Konbanwa.
Do I have to do it?
Yes.
There
Can you give me 2 minutes? Can I cut you out a heart? That way when you do it, I can throw a heart over there.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Just
You have Snapchat filters.
What about the sparkly eyes? You missed it.
Saving
Kida,
20s
kida.
for later. That's what he should have done. Now he threw it away and he'll never get it back.
That's a lie, because if we do combat, I better roll another 20 tonight.
How much you want to bet?
Oh, slap bet.
Slap bet?
Slap bet. Live.
No.
Laffert's
No.
service.
How about just
Only
the
if-
sound?
No. We do what a proper streamers do. Sub.
Snapchat live.
Oh, fuck.
There we go.
Snap, slap, bet.
Snap, slap.
Yeah.
If you don't want to waste 20s, just play Divination Wizard.
I
No,
was,
he's
in,
rolling 20s.
I was in Evil Bunny's room. Right?
Yeah, no
And
joke.
they were talking about
Divination.
corn. And something about corn, and someone mentioned fight corn, and I was like, the only rule in fight corn is don't get popped. I thought it was hilarious. I'm very happy with that.
Dang. I was thinking of a popcorn joke over here. I was just going to wait for you to finish, but...
And then-
Eyebrow popcorn
And then
joke.
it kind of just expanded, and I was like, confirmed new indie game 2020. It's cops and robbers, and you run around this cobs of corn trying not to get popped by the cops. Ice game.
That does sound like an indie game.
Yeah,
It's
no,
called
yeah.
Candy Corn.
If we give it like a shiny, strange art style,
It
game
would
of the year.
work. Yeah.
Game of the year.
Call it Corn Crush.
Corn.
Play off Candy Crush's fame.
But is it a battle royale?
No, we'll call it
It
corn pop.
has to be a battle royale.
It could be an
Yeah, it's gotta be.
We'll call it corn pop.
What about
You have
cobs
a
and
microwave
huskers?
gun that just
Different
Oh, no damage points with popcorn popping on it?
Yeah,
You have your health bar is your own corn on the cob,
Different-
like pops.
little
different
zombie,
breeds of corn,
zombie
you gotta
versus
pay for it,
plants kind of vibe with silliness.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody steal this. This is legendary action stuff.
Intellectual
Pending
property.
trademark.
Technically, this is trademarked, and we can just point back to it if something
Look.
happens afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, this is
I
documented.
like where you're going with these ideas, but where can we put the paywalls?
Candy and Cobb's corn show. Where can we put the paywalls? Yeah, that's
With
what
the
we
right
know.
amount of money, you may be allowed to change the color of your corn.
Oh my
Games
goodness.
start as art, but then they get sold to publishers, and then they go bad.
And then they go bad.
When art goes wrong.
But when do we
Candy and
Corn's gone bad.
Candy
This
and
is a beautiful
cobs.
piece of art.
Corn
Microtransactions
showdown.
will be cosmetic only.
This is a beautiful piece of art. An artist put their soul, hard work, and tears
Listen, it's
into
only
it.
a matter of time until in Apex Legends you're dropping and spending real money to open up special crates that automatically come with a gun. Like, it's not pay to win. Everybody else can buy these crates if they spend money.
Yeah, and the people who don't are just freeloaders.
And this is exactly the slippery slope we're on when people are like, just don't buy the cosmetics if you don't like it. It's only a matter of time, dude. Remember Shadow and Mordor? You ever play that one? The second one? Yeah. Let's not go there. I don't want to be spending real money to get XP boosts just so I can level in a game where I should be leveling with the story. Alright? Assassin's Creed Odyssey a little bit here, people. You know, it's only a matter of time. But either
We
way.
went down a dark road.
Yeah,
Paywall.
we're all video
Yeah.
game players, so paywalls hurt us on the inside,
Yeah,
so
they
it
get battle
unlocks
passes.
8% of hatred.
Like Siege.
Are you
Yeah.
hurt because of the paywalls or because you're poor?
Battle Pass is going to be free
Both.
this year, but then it won't be the next year. So not only will you pay for the new operators, but then you'll pay for the pass to unlock
The
all
first
sneak
time's
cosmetics.
free.
I hope.
Stop
that,
making me cry.
I hope that they just like accept the fact that the next one is going to be free. Because I just really hope that they're just like, yeah, well, free one worked really well. Let's do it again.
Now,
No.
if Ubisoft wants to be nice, what they'll do is they'll give you like 30% off, 40% off of the purchase of the battle pass.
Like
If you
half off
already
of
own
the
if you already own the
Play
season
nice,
pass.
Ubisoft. Play nice.
Layering in
There's a lot of resentment there in a Siege. I'm okay with the battle pass if it's free. That's my thing.
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
Because that just gives you that. Okay, how often do you and me play this
if
game?
it's free,
And
why
how
do
often do we get
battle
nothing?
pass? Wouldn't it just be the
Well,
We get nothing.
Siege is the game I've sunk the most.
Yeah,
money
but we get
into,
nothing.
so-
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah,
If they give me a battle pass that has
I come
objectives,
from a
I get
different time,
something.
And this
I
is
hit
no-
plat. I was
you get
satisfied.
more.
Games.
That's not enough.
I was satisfied.
Don't you mind me.
I was satisfied.
That's lies. Actually, speaking of
Next
Siege,
time I DM a game, the D&D players will have to pay me to level up.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's brilliant.
Oh my
500
God.
gold.
He did it. The madman did it.
I want to level up fucking right now.
Fuck, we all just pull out our credit cards. Just
speaking
speaking
of-
levels.
To get to level 20. I just want to be a higher level than Mike. That's all. What's it gonna take?
Hey, while we're talking about money, will you pass this down to Alex?
Oh,
Shut up
yeah.
and take my money.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Let's get that out of here.
Anyways,
Levels
are
we
For
enough
my
fun
services.
and enough interesting and stuff, and letting fans see way too much of who we really are, which is people who hate
Yeah.
microtransactions.
Save who you really are behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Like subscriber only events.
Patreons. Support us on Patreon. You get to see all the other cool stuff we do when we're not on this camera.
Do we have Patreon?
Is that like
We will very shortly if
Is
people
that
are
like-
willing to give me money.
Is that
We
like
have a
the
premium
camera you have in
Snapchat?
the bathroom?
We should.
We should.
One quick thing. So,
Is it-
to those who turned in yesterday for our Magic the Gathering little event we did, thank every one of you guys who stopped in and had
We
a bunch
had
of
a lot
fun.
of fun.
And we all did. And the DM is now into the magic world. Whoa, shit. Also, this Thursday, we're going to be doing something else a little bit more fun. This time, me and Rowan Doyle, that's the Meta Mike and Rowan Doyle, will be taking part together in the Legendary Actions channel to play Siege. But there's a catch. One of us is on keyboard, one of us is on mouse. Our goal is not to die.
Tensions will flare.
Yes,
Drama,
they will.
Much more.
In this wonderful event, one of us will have the mouse, one of us will have the keyboard. Tensions will rise, angers will grow. There will be yelling, screaming. Someone's going to die.
Friendships may
Find out.
end.
Next time on Legendary Action Games.
I just feel like there's going to be a lot of flashbangs hitting the windowsills and coming backward.
He's not gonna trust me with flashbangs.
No,
Come on.
No, I'm gonna give
Nobody
you
makes
buck,
it
and I'm
out
gonna say
alive.
here, use a grenade. We're dying in style and self pity.
Oh, please, if you give me buck, we're going in skeleton key, bitch.
After-
Nothing else.
After D&D, we can discuss Dokubi getting grenades, because I think that's going to be funny.
And glads.
And glass.
Wait, what? Glass gets grenades?
Either way,
Glads is getting nades.
I don't have time to get into
Whoa.
that conversation. We're
Whoa.
going to talk about that later. Now,
And
it's
he's getting
time
buffed too.
for us to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Should we like
What the-
introduce
so,
ourselves?
No. Come on.
No.
If
It's
we're all
Astral
ready-
Jam. They know us.
If we're all ready,
Sorry.
I'm going to run the intro. We'll be right back. We're going to jump right into Legendary Action.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Right?
Yes.
Hell yeah! Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for, enthusiasm.
Okay.
Is correct. In spite of
Party fouls.
So, didn't surprise me.
What was that?
I think it was like dice.
think it was the dog walked and caught up inside the thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The touch thing.
Dice.
Stream Deck.
Oh,
Stream Deck.
Which I just said.
Yes.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Is there volume?
Are our mics working?
Hi.
Yeah, things.
Right, that's always
It says
Good
they're on.
sound.
that's the big question.
It says they're on.
Oh, they're on.
If you
Are
can
we
hear
on?
us, send help.
No sound. Never mind. Send help.
Never mind.
Much more better.
More better. More table.
So
Yeah, Matt.
since the DM's getting ready, let's go around the table and introduce ourselves.
Oh, okay.
No,
We never start over here.
Where we are today.
Yeah, we're starting over there now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who the hell are you? Or get out.
Dude, I'm Rowan Doyle. I'm a streamer. My name is Rowan Doyle. I stream on Twitch, and I play a dwarf by the name of Solos.
Wait. Your name's Rowan Doyle and your stream's Rowan Doyle.
Yes.
Marketing.
Much better.
It's great.
More great. Doge.
Go.
Hi, my name is the Meta Mike. I am also a variety streamer on Twitch. Actually, I need all of you to do that again because I need to.
Well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I don't want to do it now just because that's what you want me to do.
Well, I want to clip it and put that as my sub emote.
I'm
So when people sub or follow, all you hear is chase the meta.
That's great.
Chase the meta.
All right, fine.
Chase the meta.
Hold on. 1,
You're gonna
2,
get this right.
3.
Chase the meta.
I'm so excited to use that. You have no idea.
You're welcome.
Rowan isn't good on the spot. That doesn't bode well for things that happen in private.
Now.
Whoa!
I would leave, but I'm chained.
Also, thank you for indulging me. I'm the Meta Mike. I'm also a variety streamer. Play a bunch of games. I'm playing Siege, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Whole hoopla stuff. I've been trying to advance out. I play Thalen Ryan Throna, a half-elf bard.
Excellent. Hello, everyone.
You did a great job. You didn't do that thing you do where you talk way too much and add in way more words than necessary.
I tried to pull the bard
I'm
back.
happy.
I know.
It's because everyone did chase the meta, so I
That's
felt super happy with myself.
Feel good about that. You did good, Mike.
Astral, taste the meta. I don't want to go anywhere with that. Continue.
Well,
I'm just gonna,
it went there.
I know. I saw the next one.
I'm going to ring it in. Hold on. I'm going to ring it in. Hello, everyone. I'm Dylan Ralston. Here at the table, though, I am known as Alfarius Axroff, and I play a Dragonborn Paladin. Coming to you live.
Rar.
My name is Alexander Bum.
Professionalism, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I got that.
On Twitter, it's Alex the Mum. I play a blood hunter Goliath. That goes by the name of Mason Hargraves.
Hashtag humans suck.
Hashtag humans suck. They do.
They don't.
I'm better in almost every way.
Except you kill yourself.
I lived where a human would have died.
Wait, one
The
did.
boy who died.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
The wound is still fresh.
I apologize. I feel like
Does this hurt?
You know, that's my first character.
It's rough. I know your pain well. I do.
Been a DM a while, but it was my first character. Oh, well.
Are you saying that you don't pour your heart and soul into every character that you introduce into your world?
Not at all.
He does. He's just too busy killing his players so they don't die often.
I can't invest too much. It's a dangerous world.
Last time you invested into his NPCs, someone sunk.
Anyway,
in the bottom of the
introductions. I'm sorry I derailed us. Carry on.
Well, hi everyone. I know it took a while, but my name is Amanda. I do play the Tabaxi rogue named Luminous Tear, aka Lumi.
Hello, I am Matt McDonald. I play the tiefling fighter Voss. That's it.
And I'm the dungeon master, or god, as most of the players refer to me as.
I call
We're
it.
not worthy! We're not worthy!
Oh, my goodness.
I make all the decisions. All of the decisions.
Please let me eat again.
Except on dinner, actually. That was up to Matt tonight. Brought dinner. It was dinner time. It was alright. I haven't eaten any of it yet. I don't know what I'm saying.
Hey, hi Tibbs.
So,
Hi, Tibbs.
Tibbs!
Tibbs.
My God!
Tibbsy.
Tibbsy! I love you.
Tipsy! Little tipsy!
Oh, yes.
Don't mock me. That's a great way to die.
You have no power here.
Yes, another magic nerd come to join us at the table.
Little tipsy.
Lonnie Lightning drop a song from the Labyrinth.
Oh, Sig's here! Hi, Sig!
Channel the other day.
I miss
I
you
was fucking
terribly.
dying. So I'm like, oh my god. It's perfect.
For those who are not aware of Sig, he is also the blood god of our world.
So if anyone would like to just say praise the blood
Sing.
Yes, Astral, as a heads up, our DM does keep the human variant behind a paywall.
I do.
It's true.
I do. As a matter of fact, none of them were allowed to take a single feat until they had already taken one ability score improvement in general.
Which is cruel.
Yeah, I still don't.
so cruel.
I still don't think we're gonna get it.
I still
I think it's a myth.
Oh, I'm gonna get that feat.
Feats may actually.
One way or another.
I'm gonna collect feet, hands, whatever. I
kill
can get.
Freddy.
Please don't. So, let's get into the game then.
Yeah, let's do.
Ah, that sounds lovely.
Sounds dangerous.
Oh, right. The world is definitely dangerous. If anything that Matt has learned, and Alex has learned, and Mike has learned,
And I've learned.
and
The world is a scary place.
Let's be real, you didn't really die. You know, just
And
pretend.
it didn't really learn.
Actually,
You were just
Die.
pretend dead.
You brought me back.
And it didn't really learn.
Oh yeah, she did die.
Oh yeah,
I
you
did
died.
die,
You
you
died.
motherfuckers.
I died.
You were
Yeah.
the first
Wait,
one.
really.
Wait, out of game.
Yeah, you know.
Everyone at this table has died except you two.
Their characters.
Oh no, I'm sorry, you're new. I meant character-wise, like current
Boss
character life.
hasn't died,
My current
but Mike
character has
has
not
died.
died.
Yeah, I meant
Died.
current characters.
Lou
Oh,
died and
yeah.
came
Well,
back.
I mean, like, I've had a single fight, so.
Yeah.
I
it
meant
happens.
with
Yeah.
Riken.
There's still
Literally.
time.
No, you're right current character-wise, but player-wise, hey.
Oh, there's tons of time. We don't do none of that 12 episode season stuff here, man. We're going like Critical Role. The campaign's done when it's done. You're either along for the ride or you're not.
Everyone dies along the way, and there's new faces.
On episode 150, see you there.
Be there.
All I felt was technical issues, like years from now, and my fingers hurt. It's gonna happen. We can't fight that.
Do better.
As your Vice Cobalt, I'll hold your hand, but that's as good as I can do.
Well, I do believe
He's on
we were
trick,
I think the thingamabobber turned off.
What?
the sound.
No, the
Speaker?
The speaker?
The speaker.
The speaker that makes this.
Oh,
So,
Speakers.
Oh,
turned itself off or died. I
Oh,
don't hear anything. Either way.
It couldn't take us anymore.
It done turned itself off.
we
It
were
done did that.
Turn down for what?
we were on the traveling road.
Traveling
horses.
So,
down the road.
This is my
in last week's episode, you were ambushed by harpies during the night in camp, led by a mighty matriarch attempting to kill and or steal, eat for later all your horses. And some of you could get away with, probably the tabaxi for sure. You know, pick the bones clean, get rid of all that nasty fur. Just eat her. But
Fucking.
you guys basically fought them off with relevant ease, and then you continued your journey further into the Greyspire Mountains, trying to cross and head to the West Dales. You took in the wondrous sights of the deep canyons and the cliffs and like the different ravines. You paid respects to the Veiled Queen of the Shrine, the goddess of fate. You witnessed a pair of mated wyverns fly out in the hunt from their clifftop home.
Very
And you came really close to an unpleasant encounter with a raid of night goblins out in the mountains, and we witnessed a little heart-to-heart kind of discussion between Hargraves and Solas about their futures in the party and what that means for the party going forward. Now,
relationships.
riding at a gallop, the party finds itself possibly headed into danger as the warning signs of something tragic having happened to a possible caravan camp up ahead have been revealed.
A caravan.
So, riding forward, you break off the path and the road, and you come into the grove. And the first thing that you see is two caravan guards. Both of them standing out front at attention. But they're completely motionless and they ignore your immediate hails. And upon getting a little bit closer, you realize that their throats have been slit, and they've been pinned to the tree to appear as be standing guard still. As you come past these trees and it opens up to the campsite, you can see that there's still the smoldering ashes of fires, not maybe more than a night old or so. The burning embers still in places. You see all the wagons and tents have been ransacked and tossed over and tumbled over. All of the hired guards and mercenaries lay scattered about throughout the camp. Most of them still have their weapons in their sheaths or nearby within arm's reach, having never had the chance to respond to whatever danger came after them.
We got sneak attack.
As you kind of dismount, looking around the camp, you don't see any signs of any of the other travelers, women, children, men who are normally traveling, none of the merchants. Anybody who seemed to have been armed is dead on the ground. But there do seem to be signs of struggle and movement and possibly being taken somewhere. And judging by the amount of blood on the ground and dead bodies, most of them were taken alive by their attackers. As you kind of walk through the camp, gleaming through everything, peeking into the tents, seeing what's around, trying to determine exactly what maybe it was that attacked them, what their goal was to help unmask the enemy through their motives, through maybe what they were searching for. You find that most of the food stocks, things of that nature, personal belongings, you even find things like jewelry, gold still on the dead guards, mercenaries. So whatever it was they were after, they weren't after any kind of wealth or riches for any reason in particular. Solas, you kind of walk over to one of these tents and you bend down and you pick up a small child's toy, stained with blood splatter. And you realize the child must have either been holding it or was killed by somebody while she was holding it. After several minutes of inspection, you kind of realize that most of the people who survived the attack, anybody who was taken alive, seems to have been dragged to or near the far wall of the grove, in a small cliff face behind a large set of boulders. So, what do you do?
Go first.
I'm just gonna go check for traps.
Okay, give me a perception check. No, investigation.
Ooh. 19 plus whatever.
So what was that? We're probably like a 32.
My
Plus-
investigation? No.
Oh no, that's your perception.
So, you look around, the camp, scout around the outside, looking for any kind of signs, maybe predetermined traps that may have been laid or set for the caravan people. You look around the kind of the large boulders in the cave wall, and you don't see any kind of indications of traps, tripwires, nothing that stands out as not having already been there from the very beginning. Nothing unnatural. Nothing artificial for sure. There's no spikes, no caltrops, nothing. There's no ropes.
Okay. So it seems like it was internal.
Well, I walk up to him. Forrest, what do you think happened here? Strange. They don't show any signs of having any chance to really resist. Think maybe the Harpies came here first?
Took the... No, they wouldn't have got the guards like that.
Well, I was just thinking because of their songs that have a profound effect on you. Maybe something similar happened here.
Well, I mean, somebody else would have heard them singing and maybe not as been under the effect like I was. I found the song beautiful, but I mean, some of you in the party found it atrocious.
Well, let's check the bodies. Anyone here good with like medicine?
There's one thing that puts me on edge. The guards, as they're surrounded, some are pinned to look like they're standing. That seems more intelligence than harpies, and plus their throats are cut. Harpies, I imagine, would tear and pull, not slit.
And from what it looks like, I think this might have been done internally because it doesn't seem like they were set into a trap. It just seems like this all just happened at once.
It looks like some that may have survived, their tracks go this way.
Well, why would they have them pinned to the trees like this? I'm gonna inspect how exactly they're pinned to the tree. Is it like
Wire.
or
Yeah, it's a
is
rope.
it a rope?
Thin rope.
Oh, okay.
Very thin.
We know there are goblins in these hills.
Yeah, but why pin them to the trees like it's some sort of trap that they're leaving? Like, who are they trying to fool? Does that make sense?
Maybe us. We're here, aren't we?
Or passerbys, maybe. Just maybe they want time to do whatever they're going to do with the people, with the people's bodies or who they are. I have no idea. This doesn't look good, though.
I mean, goblins wouldn't take captives like this. I mean, they left all the shinies, all the gold. So, I mean, what's the motive here? Slaves?
Sometimes goblins are forced by something stronger.
Any you see goblin tricks?
Yeah, I'm gonna look around and see if there's any odd tracks or footprints or anything that doesn't look human.
Are you looking specifically for goblin tracks or just for something that's not human?
Non-human tracks is what I'm gonna focus on.
Okay, make a roll. Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was almost a 20.
Well,
I guess if only
in
you
proximity, yeah.
if only you had wasted it.
Modified 20.
Hi, Farquaad.
Modified 20.
I don't see anything that seems unnatural. It's all the tracks, the sets that you've seen in camp so far, booted. All of them.
I don't see any odd tracks. There's no non-humanoids. They're all wearing boots. I didn't look for sizes, but
But there weren't obvious drag marks, right?
I wouldn't say obvious. Not necessarily, but definitely looked like the kind of scuffling and movement that one would make while being hog-tied on the ground or maybe tied up in some way and moved. But as non-seasoned people of the wilds, as most of you are, it's really hard to tell exactly.
I would like to inspect the cuts to see if I can identify what type of weapons may have been used.
Oh, go ahead. Can I get a medicine check?
Medicine. What is my medicine? +1. 21.
Ooh,
hot.
Whatever they were bladed weapons, extraordinarily sharp.
Oh, okay, so slashing, not like a serrated cut, right?
Not completely, just incredibly sharp. You can't tell if they were serrated or not. Just that it was definitely one motion.
A fine blade.
Yeah, fine blade.
Looks like they were executed with one solid motion, sharp blades. The sharpness denotes that it's probably not goblins. They don't maintain their weapons very well.
Well,
Could I
But-
take a look at inside of the carriage?
Where are you going to look inside the carriage?
Like all of them, or just one particular?
Dan, are you looking
Because
for something?
they've all been basically ransacked and turned over and moved through, like more or less the same way.
Are you looking for
what are you
something in
looking for?
particular?
Yeah.
I want to look for anything left behind.
Well, there's
By
a lot
the
left.
attackers,
Yeah.
possibly?
So you're looking for maybe I need something more specific than that.
I'm trying to see if maybe they might have left something behind, like maybe footprints, or maybe like a piece of clothing was torn. Just like evidence that.
Any sort of evidence that could lead you to a conclusion about who's responsible?
Yeah.
Okay, don't you have an ability for something like that too?
That is only 4.
like if you see the bad guy.
No, I think she has one that gives her advantage on some sort of a check while she's an investigation check for clues
Look
or
for
something like that.
hidden stuff.
Yeah,
While she's
a
doing
good
that,
rogue, I like.
can I ritual
Oh, yeah.
cast
Hyper
detect
detail.
magic while she's doing that?
sure. What's the range on detect magic? Where are you casting it at?
In the center.
Self. So I have
In the
30.
center.
So yeah, in the center of me.
You casting it on yourself?
Yep.
Okay,
So I'm gonna. It's just gonna take 10 minutes for me to cast it. I'm not gonna use a spell slot.
that's fine.
Yeah, it's eye for detail.
I just wanted to say I was doing that.
Okay.
Where I can use the perception to spot a hidden creature or object, or an investigation to check and uncover and decipher clues.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought you had. So.
Oof! Oof! Ooh, hot!
23.
How much?
23.
Let's roll a 19, boys.
23.
So that's 2 20s.
So
fucking 3 19s.
having watched everybody go around, you're just not really quite set, and you do go over back to these trails because none of it really seems to make any sense. That's talking about goblins, and you can see that there's definitely a distinction in like the average size and weight indent left by some of the boot tracks there. Whoever it was definitely humanoid, but they were lighter than normal human beings, average person.
And I relayed that to the group.
And they head straight to the boulders and the wall, all the tracks, all the trails.
Relayed that to the group.
I would like to do one more check. I want to kind of the guys who were pinned up. I want to smell them and see and try and see if I can determine if they've started to rot, like how long they've been dead.
Oh, you didn't even make a roll. It's fresh.
Oh, it's fresh.
This happened last night. Wherever
Still
it was.
dripping, kind of
You
thing.
can tell just from looking at the state of the fires and the way that they're still burning. It might not even just last night. Probably
This morning.
7 hours ago, 8 hours ago.
Has the sun gone down yet? Just asking.
No. This is like mid-afternoon.
Cool. Can I step out into the sunlight and sit down, and then whoever's closest to me just be like, if you don't mind giving me a little bit of time to pray to Parathor, maybe me can come up with something.
All right.
Is anybody else doing anything while he's ritual casting the type magic?
And with the information she relayed to me.
Well, she didn't relay it to you. This
I
is what she
relayed to the
figured
group.
out. Did you?
Yeah, she said it.
Well, she just said I relay it to the group.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't hear you.
I'm gonna move closer to the boulders, where the tracks are.
Okay.
That's where I want to be.
Following him.
Watch out for traps.
Thank you for the heads up. I appreciate that.
Because whoever's done this, I get the feeling, did
Are
this
you-
without letting anyone know.
Are you ritual casting, or are you moving closer to the?
Well, that's why I just asked. I asked if anybody else wanted to do anything while he's ritual casting.
Okay.
So I can Dylan.
Oh, I'm gonna be on active guard.
Okay, a perception check then.
While I'm watching his back, too.
It's gonna be
Give me a
a
perception check.
12.
12.
Leaning more towards the road we came on and the road going forward.
All right.
And you're watching the front of me while Magics are doing his work.
That's a 5, but I'm kind of caught up in watching him do the ritual.
He rolled low.
I rolled a 5.
A guard
I'm
is
not
better than no
necessarily
guard.
sure his character would be versed enough in medical science to make that kind of check under that circumstance, Tips. But that's definitely a good idea.
That's smart. That's smart.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
But all right, so
Stay in
so
school,
you finish,
kids.
You finish casting and you start kind of holding your hands out and you start getting a vision of kind of the spell weave and as you move closer to the rocks, you start to get a very powerful indication of an abjuration magic resounding from the wall.
That's illusion, correct?
No, that's
Protection.
illusion.
Abjuration. Sorry, abjuration is
No,
protection.
Protection and or a bunch of other stuff.
Words.
Kitty cat. Not to be trusted.
Not to be trusted. Then I immediately stop and go. There's warding magic in front of us on the boulders.
Just coming from that direction.
Towards the direction of the boulders. Something's meant to be guarded here. If that's where the tracks are going, I can only assume the people that did this are there. Or someone else. Shall I try to open it up?
We should probably wait for Solas.
Doggo agrees. So what are you doing?
I'm spending 30 minutes in prayer to swap out a spell slot. Or a spell.
Okay. What are you swapping?
I'm swapping Zone of Truth for Speak with Dead.
Okay.
I draw my sword and tell everyone to be ready. Just with that, knowing that the protection magics are that way.
I'm gonna hang out stealthily in the tree lands.
If I were to target them, I would.
Standing guards.
Yeah, just standing guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Party members have a plan.
Don't want to split. Don't
I'm
want to
gonna
split the
climb up
bird.
the tree.
Okay, just any of them? Because there's like, it's a
Just
grove.
any
so
tree.
there's
See,
kind
don't
of an interspersed amount of like
The one with the
high, high mountain. Like you guys are still pretty high up into the passes between Dragon Mount and Tower Peak. So they're like all pine trees and stuff like that. It's pretty high altitude still.
I kind of want to climb the highest tree.
That
Just
you can?
yeah, because
Okay.
I want to take
Yeah.
keeping my eye on that.
All right, that's fine. So you climb all the way up to the top, and you kind of get near the tippy top, and you're looking out, and you just see this especially serene and beautiful view across the top of the mountains. And you can see that off in the distance to the north, you see Tower Peak miles and miles away. The clouds obscuring the top of the mountain. This holy site associated with the power of the Pinnacle Crom and his domain. And then looking south even further, very, very far in the distance, you can see just the tip top of Dragon Mount Peak to the south, the highest mountain in the entire Grayspire range. And you can see the valley and this river and these creeks that kind of roll down, and off in the distance coming across of Tower Peak, you see the storm is coming in the distance, and you see a couple of deer, whitetails, just kind of in the creek, and they snap their heads and look around and just run off into the forest. A wave of birds like takes off from a nearby set of trees as you hit the top. But you don't see anything abnormal when it comes to the view. Nothing in the distance moving other than the deer. No smoke from camps. No signs of obvious travel, and no other like threatening creatures. You don't see any natural predators in the area.
Just unnatural.
I speak up. Notice what he's doing. I don't have much longer before the spell I cast earlier leaves. I won't know exactly where the magic's coming from. I'm worried that I might not be able to dispel it accurately.
Well, I mean, you're standing at a distance from the rocks. Do you like want to walk closer and like
Yes.
zone in?
Yes, I want to zone in
Say
there.
that. You gave me
Yeah.
the impression you were trying to make sure you stayed away from it because it was dangerous.
Okay, yeah, I relay that to you guys. I'm going to move closer to the rocks while he does his thing.
I'll follow you.
I will. Please get my thank you. I approach the rocks.
So, as you get closer, it starts to zoom in, and the spell weave kind of the weave starts to kind of coalesce and like spin in this almost green and blue pattern. As you start to see like this faint shimmer of like runes that you can't see, that you can't really make out, and they're just centered on this large, like triangular, almost rugged rock in the cliff face, in this overhang that the river at one point nearby must have carved through.
It's here. The runes, the magic, the weave itself, it coalesces here. I know where it is and I can see it. If you want, I can try to remove it.
I don't think we should remove it yet. The cleric said he had some time still with his.
I can only see this for so much longer before it might be hard to do it.
Well, then let's switch places. So I reach onto my belt inside of my cloak, and I pull out my own book, flip to a page, keep an eye on things for a second.
Absolutely. I step back and I start making sure everything's... I'm perceiving my surroundings actively.
I got you.
So
what are you doing?
I want to ritually cast Identify
Identify.
on the
Okay.
on the opening he's indicating.
All right.
Or whatever it is, the stone.
So while you're doing that, we'll hit back to you. So you finish changing out the spells, and you suddenly find yourself aware of the intangible. You feel like it's a strange like extra dimensional sense now that has set onto your body, and you feel like you see sometimes shapes and shadows and things as you just drift and kind of like normal. Just every once in a while, you feel like something strange is there.
That's an old feeling.
'Cause I got a feeling.
Oh no. I'm gonna walk over to Alfarius and Hargraves.
Okay.
Help me out here. Which one do we think probably saw the most?
Oh, that's kind of a hard decision. It seems like many of them didn't even get a chance to defend themselves.
Right, but one that probably drew their blade at least saw something.
So, based, I kind of left this out, but based on what you saw, inspecting the wounds, both of the hits that they took, based upon like your guesstimate of their time of death, it would have been night, it would have been dark, and they would have been outside of the fire, basically.
Yeah, they've been.
So that they would have been looking out into the darkness from the trees, standing guard.
So chances are it's these gentlemen here that are pinned up to the trees. They were probably the lookouts, so if anyone saw anything, it was probably them. The rest were probably resting and relaxing, feeling secure, having their lookouts guard the area. So probably your best bet.
If you think so, then maybe me can see if they saw anything.
Yeah, well, that's the hard thing is, that's the whole point of having dead men. They can't really tell you what they saw.
Right, well, can you discern, just based off of the motion of the cut, was it from in front of them or from behind them? Can you discern that?
Can I discern that?
You still standing near the bodies?
Yeah.
Make me an investigation check.
Oh, I can do that. Ooh, roll pretty hot. I'm not smart.
We're gonna have a combat and gonna die because we wasted all our good rolls tonight.
Investigation is a +0, so 17.
The attacks were definitely made from behind, for sure. Because then you can tell by the way the wound looks when you move it that their necks were
the angle of the cut
when
and
the
stuff
cut came in, the way that a professional would do it.
Looks like the
It's
cuts.
clean,
Yeah.
like straight through, all the way in, and it's the kind of cut that you would associate with somebody who's done it a lot, not with an amateur with an unsteady hand or some bandit or highwayman.
They cut enough to cut the throat so they couldn't scream, stuff like that. Well, it looks like there was an attack from behind, so how much they saw is anyone's guess. Probably close to nothing, except for maybe those last moments as they got dropped. The rest probably weren't even awake to begin with.
And for reference, these bodies are about a 15 to 20 foot gap between where they were stationed and where the camp was. So, like the edge of the camp where the fire would,
Okay.
the light would go. What were you saying?
Oh, did none of the other guards, like, or not even guards, just mercenaries in general, did none of them draw their swords, like, in camp?
Not from what you can tell.
Not from what you can tell.
Yeah, not from what you can tell. What you can see is almost anybody who had a sheathed weapon is fully sheathed still.
Yeah.
And anybody who did have a weapon out, it doesn't look like they were wielding it. It looks like it was nearby because they're all resting on like logs or on crates or like near them in some way.
I will tell you this. Doesn't look like they died instantly. They may not have been able to scream, but it takes a minute or two for everything to go dark. They might have dropped them, and then if you're saying that you can speak to the dead, they might have dropped them and they still might have seen something. They just couldn't do anything about it because they were bleeding out like a stuck pig.
Right, but we're more or less guessing which one we think maybe saw something, you know?
Yeah.
Because if we pick the wrong one, then it's just wasted time. And
Can you ritual cast that spell?
Nope.
Well,
Is there a consumable cost? Not covered by the...
Nope.
Okay,
I just need to burn some incense.
that's fine. Just want to make sure.
What level is it?
well, they may not have seen anything, but at the very least, they might have heard something. Might not have been a whole lot before they died, but it's probably all you're going to get out of them.
Hi.
And it's just a guess, so you're going to have to pick one.
Right, well, let's take our pick. Which one do you guys think is our winner?
If only Theon was here.
Yeah.
He'd probably be flipping
Yeah,
that
he'd
stupid
flip that-
coin.
Yeah, he totally flipped
Yeah.
that coin.
Yeah.
What was that? We're looking at a rock. Did you say my name?
So what do you want to do? before we get off track.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Who you want to choose? There's 2
Yeah.
guards there, plus there's about 7 other mercenaries scattered throughout the camp.
Which one's closest to the sunlight?
Shit.
You should go for the one that's closest to the sunlight.
That's what I was doing.
Hey, come here. Come here.
Look, that one's legs in the sunlight. That's got to mean something.
Come here.
Whichever one he's pointing to, you know, we're just gonna go with that.
Okay, sure. I mean,
So,
Is it one of the
body
outside
that-
guards?
The body that you
Yeah.
choose looks like it's that of an elder gentleman, probably maybe his mid 40s to late 40s. I'm not really sure. He has a nice long beard, like a well trimmed mustache, and he was wearing. He wasn't really wearing much in the way of like armor. Has some looks like some older, like toughened leather hide armor of some sort. His sword, on the other hand, looks good. It's good steel.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna get down on my knees next to the body. I'm gonna set out my lantern between us. I'm gonna take a little bit of fire, okay? And as I do, I just kind of want to like, I know it's hard with rigor mortis and such, but I kind of want to like open the jaw, and I want to just like put the flame in there, and that's how I cast the spell.
okay. Alright, so read me the spell.
You grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range. Allowing it to answer the questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead. The spell fails if the corpse was the target of this spell within the last 10 days. Until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. The corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy. This spell doesn't return the creature's soul to its body, only its animating spirit. Thus, the corpse can't learn any new information.
Okay.
Doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it died, and can't speculate about future events.
So, as you burn the incense and the flames and open up the mouth, you say the ancient dwarven rituals and or the ancient clerical rituals in Dwarven, and you have a brief moment of hesitation right before you say make the final move, as you realize what you're doing is exceptionally dangerous, and it's in your mind that casting necromantic magic and bringing a soul from the veil, there's always a chance that the demon can find its way from the abyss through that person. It's only a brief worry as you cast the spell. And the corpse animates slightly. It kind of like comes forward, and its eyes pop open, and its neck kind of weak and like moving from like side to side. So it like kind of looks around, and it immediately, for a brief moment, like you see a flash of like panic on its face, and then it reaches for its weapon, and is unable because of the body's rigor mortis, and it just kind of is broken and it's trying to bend and get back into place and can't do it. And he sees you and sees Hargraves and Alfarius and looks confused. So, you can ask him the questions. You have 5 questions to ask him, correct?
Aye. Peace, friend. What is your name?
So I'm closing my sheet. I was right on it. I'm open it again. Voice kind of raspy and old as the body tries to find a way to like almost remember how to work. My name was Franzel.
So,
Franzel, do you remember what happened here?
Looks around at his environment. I was standing guard. The caravan. I got work in Fallmend. were standing. I was talking to Erva for a moment, and then he stopped. And I looked over to see some shape before I felt something around my head. And then I remember falling to the ground.
This shape, did it look like a person?
It was dark. I had made the mistake of turning towards the fire. It was hard to see or define. It might have been a person, a man. I shouldn't have made the mistake of looking towards camp on guard duty. Can't say for sure.
Do you two have any thoughts? I've got 2 left. 2 questions before Franzel must return to rest.
Well, I got one.
Aye, ask.
How many women and children were you guarding in camp?
It was a large trade caravan. Women and children specifically. 4, 5 families. Maybe 5 boys, 3 girls. All of them had wives. Going to the Central Vale to start a new life. Away from the oppressive, aristocratic families of the Westdales.
All right.
I'd ask if we heard something, but then they were probably sneaking up on them.
We can't ask if he knows where they came from, because it seems as though it was sudden. So how would he know?
Well, is
You can ask him if there's anything he could tell us that would help us avenge his death. That's kind of open-ended, though. I don't know how your magic works.
what's your favorite place to visit? Saying on a happy note.
I was going to ask if he had any family, but okay, go with that.
Hold on, we'll see if it's with his family. It may not be.
Right, it may be with the barmaid.
We said happy, all right?
Well, the question has already been asked.
Relationship jokes. He said happy. Just it's very fucking a very Bundy fucking answer.
He's like,
Wherever Peg's not.
oh, is that it? Did I write this down in my notes?
Yeah, the question was asked.
My work is torture, but otherwise I'd have to be here with you. So I work.
No, it's what he knows, all right? So if he doesn't know happiness, we understand.
Jesus.
Let me tell you my life story. I've actually been troubled.
This is too much. Reverse this spell.
Just
Pull out, pull out.
It kind of looks around for a moment, tries to move its arms, and it just really can't. There's no real motor to the body. Its muscles completely taut and atrophied. The last time I was truly happy was when I was a small boy living in Bravadas on a family farm. I remember herding sheep with my father. And then at that, just boom, the body just falls to the ground.
Well, that's that.
So,
As I finally finish drawing the runes, I just tap it, and then
just kind of create a circle of fire and then burn away. And then that's it.
You were casting with the spell magic?
No, identify.
Identify it. Okay, so you get this, as they kind of crisp and burn away. You see a line of sigils and an abjuration text, and you can. It tells you that the spell is arcane lock.
What level is it? Do you know that part?
I'm familiar with the spell only by name. An arcane lock.
How strong would you say it is?
Take an Arcana check.
Do it.
Strong.
Do I hear this? Do I overhear this?
No, they're kind of pretty far away from you on the other edge of camp.
Just a 10.
Just a 10. Every now and then.
Really? Really?
Tense moment.
It's a second level abjuration.
Okay. It's not incredibly advanced.
All right. I can get us in.
Okay.
I turn and... is anyone looking this direction?
Well, I mean,
I'm in a
everybody's
tree.
kind of looking around camp. She's on top of the
We're
tree looking
only
over.
like 40 feet apart.
Well, then I just whistle. I was trying not to do that for the mics.
Well, we've already gone over that part.
I was like, I was being considerate, and everyone was just like, fight! No, but yeah, I whistle, and then you see me just kind of waving everybody over.
I jump from tree to tree.
Acrobatics check.
Nibbly pibbly.
Oh no, you're gonna land on your face.
Then
Drink
nibble when
sausage
I
and
need
milk.
to eat. 18.
Yeah, sure. You just jump over, hit the tree, and you see another one. You jump over to that one. A little bit of joy kind of comes through. You remember doing this to evade predators in Chulesh.
Yep.
Being high above, watching as the goblins kind of skulked through the jungle below, never really aware that you were ever there. And then you come to the last tree that you can jump to, and you just climb down and move over to them.
I want to climb down like a spider monkey.
Sure.
Or a tabaxi.
Yeah, we're back.
Like a spider
Floats
cat.
your boat.
Spider cat. That's
Yeah,
whatever
we're a spider cat.
spider cats do.
Yeah, when we come over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all come over. You're all together. It's fine.
So, behind, with the help of Voss, was it?
Boss.
We were able to determine that it's a lock, and I can get rid of it.
An arcane lock. Get the hell out of here. That's just a boulder.
Dude, they
I
locked
will,
the ball. Hold it.
I say, prep your, be ready, just in case. As I raise my sword, I put it at the center of the sigil.
Okay.
And cast a spell magic at their level.
Okay.
Spell magic.
So,
The sky suddenly goes dark.
the sky goes dark as you unleash the demon lord.
It was locked for a reason.
Who's held behind a level 2 spell? Oh, shit!
Father, I found you. Surprise, everyone! Betrayal.
Yeah.
No one's surprised. Because it's Matt.
How much I cast?
Whoa!
So,
This
As
is
you-
because I kill everyone
as
in
you
one
cast,
shot.
there's a rippling effect as the spell disperses across the boulder, and you see a strange circular rock with elven runes on it twist, turn, and crack as there's like a shatter effect to the arcane lock as the rock begins to slowly but surely change from what looks like an ordinary boulder into a doorway.
And that is your door.
Get the hell out of here.
Aye, what did you do? That was a nice boulder.
I took away the magics.
Nice.
It was nice.
But why would there be a door
It
here?
accented the growth perfectly.
Why do we have a bunch of dead people behind us?
Professionally assassinated dead people. Speaking of which, Lumi, have you seen work like this before?
Make a history check.
Yay!
Thalen, come me ask.
I'll just jump ahead of you on that one. History.
20.
Oh, jeez, another 19. Oh,
You have seen work like this before.
Ooh. Tell me more. Tell me more.
I feel like I know where to.
You just
Did he get really far?
You've just seen similar work before in your past. You've seen. It just very much matches the. It just very much matches the MO of just professional assassins, people who kill other people for a living, more or less. You've seen people with very similar, like same kind of steady hand that results in cuts like that. Just the direction and the way that how the ambush happened. Whoever was here, they knew exactly what they were doing, and they were well coordinated. They didn't just budge in here hoping to overpower the camp. You know, while everything is kind of ransacked, what you think it is kind of meant to be a cover for them taking the people alive. It's meant to look like exactly what you guys all first assumed, which is like a goblin attack or something.
I relay that to the group. This is very professionally done. I think they made it look like it was supposed to be a massacre, but I get the feeling there's something more behind this. Did we find out if there was any more people in the caravans?
You know, about 4 to 5 families.
And how many bodies did we find of families?
Of families?
No.
Just
No.
mercenaries.
Maybe some of the dads, but that's it.
Well then.
I was only fighting the dead.
Well then.
And this is...
What do we do?
Is this kind of magic common for...
It's not particularly powerful, at least in arcane lock, but it is unusual. I thought you all said this place was usually a haven, a place of safety.
Yeah, we stopped here before. It was fine. Like, and I could have swore this boulder was here. I've seen a lot of boulders.
Yeah.
The whole place looks familiar. It's
Yeah.
exactly the way it's, aside from the dead bodies, everything looks the same as the way you came over through the pass
And yet,
4 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that during
and
the
yet
war?
a hidden door.
Well then.
Isn't it Finland?
What?
I'm
What's
just
a
remembering.
Finley, the goblin?
Me would love to vouch for this, but me was not here. So
Wasn't he real? Wasn't
Fin-
that rascal pretty good at this kind of shit?
No, Finley would not do this. This is murder on a different scale. If it's just Finley, he wouldn't have had the resources to round all of them
Yeah,
up.
there would have, from what you guys said, there would have been a big boulder that smashed through all the carts. I heard about your guys' little plan from before. He's tactful, but he's not that tactful.
We're getting off task. The question is, we have a trail. We have, hopefully, families to save. Or
And
we
it's-
walk away.
And it's midday, around like 12 to 1 p.m.-ish, and whoever it is, whenever this happened, they have at least a 9-10 hour head start.
So, if we go, I vote for go, mainly just because, in fact, this would be a fantastic story for my book.
Oh, never mind the people we could be saving.
That's, again, part of the book. It's all good for everybody.
he needs an audience to read it.
Yes.
On the bright side, if they're trying to take 5 families, probably won't go that fast. So we might actually be able to keep up, or catch up.
So do we move quietly, or do we move with haste?
I'll say we start trying to catch up, and then as we get closer and maybe we find more evidence, we can adjust our plan from there.
The cat is quiet. She could scout ahead.
I can do that too.
Yeah, I say we
I
move.
want to see their work. I want to see who this is.
Well, then,
Move quickly and still be quiet.
now the final question is, who opens the door first?
I walk over and open the door.
This is
Kind
a
of
man of
old,
action,
so-
and I like it.
Yeah, so you come up, and it doesn't take a particular amount of specific work. You can see that it's designed to be hidden completely from view and protected by this illusion or whatever it was. And you just walk up, you put your hand in like this center circle with the center of the circle with the elven runes, and then you speak a passphrase, very common, and it just opens. The doors slide open. Did you speak interior?
Well, I knew the passphrase from the identifier, so it was whatever it was. What language was it? Did I recognize
It's Elvish.
it? Just Elvish?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Elvish?
An Elvish door.
An Elven runes. What elves might take prisoners?
Drow,
Possibly.
renegade wood elves.
That too.
Can we pipe in real quick here? If we're going to chase them with haste, it might be ill-advised. As you have said, they are potentially, like, trained and good at this. It could be a fully trapped way we're walking into here.
That's why I will check for traps.
Well, I'm just saying, like, as somebody of the law, like, I would have never have found this. So, like, they're totally not expecting us.
Well then, let us.
They're not expecting the Guardians of the Veil.
No one is.
No one is.
I certainly wasn't.
Nor were the Harpies.
Well, let's go, because these people weren't expecting to die, so let's try and keep
Let's
that from
move.
happening.
Yeah, what is the interior like?
Lead the way.
It's dark.
Ooh.
There's no lighting. It's pure dark.
Go on.
What does it look like to those that see grayscale?
Oh, that does not.
It looks dark. Beyond what you can see is grayscale. It's natural stone.
Oh,
And I go into my pockets, and I get the little, and then I get the little scrap pieces of the witch bowl. I mean the witch stone.
It's stone. Okay.
Does that help
No,
illuminate?
because what you picked up off of her table was like literally scraps. So you're holding,
Yeah.
Like dust.
You're
Also
holding,
some
just
hoping.
little, no. They glow and they sparkle, but without having like a whole witch's stone and other ones to react off, you don't get that alchemical magical reaction between the substances.
Well, I tried.
So you did answer that there is no witch's stone inside the cavern walls. So that's good job.
I'm
Now
gonna
you know.
sit. I'm gonna top off my lantern real quick here.
Got this cool drift globe.
So
Oh yeah, you have my.
the question is, light travels far in tunnels.
And we travel fast.
All right.
Luminous, you see in the dark, and you
Yeah.
travel quietly and quickly.
Yeah,
You should travel ahead. Yes.
that is the plan.
If you get
Play to
into
your
any
strengths.
danger, you turn and run.
Make a lot of noise.
Well, here's my question then: like, how far ahead do you guys want to let her be, and how long of a head start do you want her to be?
I would say 30 feet or so, 30, 40 feet. Because that's.
not
Well,
very
that's
far.
yeah, it's not far at all.
Well, I was just saying enough that. So 60 feet then, because that's out of the range of light. Because we're going to need our light.
Feet head start.
I think horses go further than 60 feet, and the drift boat does.
I
I
give
think
her
it's 120 feet for the drift
I would say let her go past the light, and that still gives her a chance to dash
1,000 feet.
or move fast enough to get back to us.
3 football fields, 900 feet.
So we have
Yeah.
dark vision,
60 feet.
dark vision,
Drift globe.
Dark vision.
dark vision,
Plus lantern.
plus lantern,
Drift glow.
drift globe.
So I would
Smell and hear.
So I would say to those that are trapped that need light,
I'm like a mole. I
we'll
don't
put you
need to
towards
see.
the back of the party. That way, the light's farther back.
Mm-hmm.
I can be quiet when I need to.
As can I.
I can.
Well,
It's not a competition.
Luminous should go
Yeah.
quite a ways in front,
Yeah.
and then we'll take the middle out of the light.
Another maybe 400 feet.
I would say just out of the light.
Just about 100 feet then or so.
100 feet seems reasonable.
Alright.
And the light will take the back.
I'm comfortable with this.
It will give us a spread, but I count on her not getting caught.
So do the rest of us.
Natural one incoming.
I've traveled with Spaxy.
Even with a natural one.
Still beats most people. All right. Let's
Beats,
My
beats
past
me.
perception.
Oh yeah,
is all
you get
that
advantage
counts.
on it too because I gave you the cloak of bullshit.
The cloak of bullshit.
The
I like
cloak
how-
of bullshit.
I like how you I like how you describe the fucking cool stuff I give you guys. You know?
Yeah,
I'll remember that the next time I'm fucking deciding what magic items you get.
Yeah,
I knew
well, what
it
is
was-
it? It's
Like
garbage.
everybody else gets +2 weapons, Mike gets his fucking cloak of bullshit.
Hey, dude, cloak of
What does
bullshit
it
gives
do?
me a
It smells
+5 to my
Oh, no,
charisma.
it'll be a cloak of bullshit. Like,
Yeah, I'll have
It's
advantage on
cursed.
bullshitting.
yeah, no, it's cursed. Like you just smell like bullshit all the time.
Hey, no, it's a dope magic item. That's
Yeah,
why
which-
bullshit not.
Which would definitely give you
Yeah.
disadvantage on stealth.
You can imagine.
the item?
Yeah.
It
You can
smells
imagine
like bullshit.
whatever you want.
That's what
Rude.
Anyway,
Whoops.
so what's the plan?
I gave you
I
the
bet
cloak.
Paladin
I
art.
need a
Hi,
define-
Kima.
I need a defined plan from
She-
everybody.
So she's going to be at the head,
Okay.
then about 800 feet back from that is going to be
All of y'all.
me and Thalen, and then about
So basically,
About
we're
100
like
feet back from that is going to be the rest of the
yeah, we're standing just outside of the light.
No, I get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question is, what's your travel pace like? What are you guys doing? Are you attempting to like do this stealthily and quietly, or are you guys trying to travel? Because she outpaces all of you remarkably quickly as a player.
We're planning on traveling.
We're
We're
planning
trying
on
to catch.
traveling.
We're trying to catch up.
Yeah.
So, travel.
Yeah, because we're moving quickly because we're gonna let her take the lead so she can make sure we don't die.
We're moving
Something like that, I
normally.
think, right?
Or just
She can
dies.
move
At
normally
least
and
dies
stealth
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just moving normally. She's moving normally in stealth. I think was the plan.
with a good cushion of distance.
Okay. All right. So she's at front, followed by the rest of you, pulling up the slack.
Yeah.
Way further behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Sounds
it.
good.
But what
So-
was your cloak?
It's the cloak of
Elvenkind.
Elvenkind. Yeah.
I thought you gave it to him.
No.
He did at one point, but he gave it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I gave it to you, the cloak to you plus the thieving gloves.
Play to your strengths.
Yes.
Cloak of Elvenkind requires attunement, so if you're not attuned to it,
I just
you're going to have to
didn't
spend an hour.
I
attuned to
gave it to her like I don't know, fucking
I
3
don't-
weeks in
I
game.
don't care when
man.
you gave it to her. If she doesn't have it on that sheet, it says attuned. She has to spend an hour to attune to it.
It's fair. I'm just saying, like I feel like a long time ago.
I know, and I agree.
Like, you
But
gave me the cloak of
It
bullshit.
worries me that she wasn't even aware that she had the item, which makes me assume she might not be attuned to it.
I don't think she is.
More
No.
likely
No.
than not, she's
She doesn't
done.
even have the item on her list. See, so who has it on their list? Is it in the bag of holding?
No, I had it on my list because I was attuned to it, and when
Yeah.
I gave it to her, I unattuned to it.
Who has it?
She does. I gave it to her. I took it off my item list
I
to
do.
give to her.
I do recall him passing it.
I'm not questioning whether or not you pass it. I just want to know where it is.
It's currently not on my
She
item
doesn't
list
have
right
it
now.
on her list.
Not mine. I never had.
Well, if it's on nobody's list, it's in the bag.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Well.
Nope.
Yeah, because do you have the gloves?
I have the gloves, yes.
Because I gave them both to you at the
Because-
same time.
Because I was told I was only getting the gloves because he wanted the cloak.
Oh, hey, Great Paladinar, thanks for joining us. I know it's 5 a.m. where you are, but thanks for. I hope your dreams weren't that terrible, but I'm glad you're chilling with us. How's it
Yeah.
going? I know you've been trying to catch us for a while on that crazy, what is it, UK time?
Yeah,
Well-
we were going to trade it back and
Hi,
forth,
Kimo.
but then you came back, and it only made sense that you have it.
Yeah, because it gives advantage on stealth rolls because
Yeah.
it helps you out a lot. So
Because my stealth is already pretty high.
Yeah, well, advantage is awesome, so.
We're going to guarantee it's high.
It worked out really well for him
So-
because it.
Well, I don't have it attuned now, so
Okay.
I'll just do that afterwards.
So do you want to just attune to it?
Yeah, we got time.
Okay.
That's basically what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. I just want you to say, like, I want to spend an hour attuning to the item and make sure it's equipped. Checking all the boxes.
I'd like to state that I am attuned to the book. It's just because it's a custom item, it doesn't have the attunement thing
Thing.
on
Yeah,
it.
that's fine.
So, just for you and I to know
later,
there.
later.
Well, I
you
already,
can-
yeah, I saw
Actually, Andy, if
your
you
character
want
sheet.
to toss, email me or index cards for a bunch of your homebrew stuff, I can build them.
Oh, thanks for the host, Great Paladin.
and have them.
No problem.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much
Hey.
for the host. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
Sorry you're not feeling too good, Kima. I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was me Thursday morning, so I understand.
We're trying to figure out D&D
Oh, your
logistics.
apartment on tower, that sucks,
D&D.
man. Hopefully it's not too awful being on mobile.
The Dark Ages.
Hey, do you know what? Hopefully you've got a full battery because at least you got something to do for 4 more
So
hours.
as you guys basically hang out for a moment, watch Lumi take off the cloak, put it on, and spend the time connecting to it.
I'm invisible. I'm invisible.
Exactly, practicing being invisible. After that hour, she heads forward. So
I also took the time during that to ritually cast a Find Familiar. So
don't you already have your familiar out?
I do, but I'm going to change him into a. Well, what's good for the dark?
Bat.
You know,
A bat.
I'll buy it.
I have
I
to.
don't think bats have dark vision, actually. I
Yeah.
think they have echolocation.
Well, dark vision is magical.
No, it's not.
I have to attune to the rod with the platinum angel, right?
That's not what the guys who make the
Then-
games.
During that hour, I'll just do that as well.
Okay.
Because I've got 3 and I've only used 1, so cool.
Run, adventure.
Okay, so you guys continue moving forward. You watch as Lumi darts into the distance, into the cave,
I'm all for it.
on all fours, running cheetah on the prairie. You see her take off. You count about 15 seconds,
1 Mississippi.
counting for her speed.
2 Mississippi.
She continues running into the darkness. So, after that time, you headed. You turn on the drip globe.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made them turn it on.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Start.
the drip globe kind of floats out of your hand as you speak the command word, and it just lifts into the air and just starts moving forward. You kind of give it a little tap with the claw, and it just kind of drifts forward a little bit and keeps going. You guys continue to move forward deep into the cave.
They have blind sight for 60 feet.
Blind sight, yeah. So, there's nothing truly outstanding about the walls. It's all natural caverns, cavern work. Aside from the door itself, nothing really seems out of place. You do notice that you are descending at a steady pace, a nice leisurely pace. You a couple of spots where there's natural water kind of just dripping out of the ceiling and running along the walls downwards and then disappearing underneath a set of rocks. You do cross some fungus, some mushrooms, and strange bugs just kind of running around and doing their little bug activities.
Pushing little balls of poop.
Lumi, you continue to run forward, and after about maybe 1,000 feet or so, you come to the opening of a wider chamber, and you see faint reflection of almost light coming off the wall around the bend from you. It's very faint and it's hard to see at first. Whatever it is, it's not a very strong fire, whatever the source is. So it's probably something fading or dimming in the distance.
I stealthily go up to it.
Okay. So you quietly move up and peer into the room, and you see low burning candles and an effigy arranged in the room. You see what looks like some sort of ritual space, or some sort of space where a ritual took place. There's on the floor, using a great deal of blood, there seems to be a large circle with arcane elvish runes in the center of this. Maybe it's 10 feet probably or so, just circumference. And in the center, you recognize the very, very familiar design of the Betrayer Wolf's symbol in the center of the floor, in blood. And as you look through the room, you see that these candles you thought at first were sitting on rocks. They're not. It's the heads of about 10 people who were decapitated, their blood used to design this ritual and design this spider on the floor. Their faces, from what you can still see, still sealed in absolute terror and agony. As unlike the cuts to the guards on the outside, these were sawed off with serrated blades in the most cruel and painful way possible. Their eyes have been popped out of their heads and discarded in a pile near the ground. And you can see in the very center of this spider effigy, there's almost a pooling of blood, as if someone had been standing in the center of everything that was gathered, and it was poured on them, drenching their body. A couple of them are the heads of children, a young boy and a young girl. Other parts gruesomely decimated, taking off. You see limbs and the bodies have just been haphazardly piled into the corner where the blood is draining out onto the floor.
I don't want to look at it. I stealthily checking my surroundings. Go out.
Okay.
I don't want to look at that anymore.
Alright. So you're just going to stand there and wait for them?
I'm I'm gonna make my way back to them just to give them a heads up to probably not look at that.
Well, there's no other way through it. You have to go through that chamber.
Oh,
in order
you
to head
have?
through. Yeah.
Oh.
So I said it comes around the bend in this wide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll wait for them.
Okay.
I'll give them a heads up.
So after about 20 minutes or so of walking through the dark, you guys finally stumble upon Mumi kind of minding her own business, and then you pick up the light, the fading light coming off of these candles or whatever it is on the other side of around the corner from her in this room.
There's light ahead. What is it?
Something you really don't want to see, but we have to go through, so I just want to make sure to let everyone know. There's a spider effigy in the middle, and it has the betrayer Lil.
Lol.
I mean,
Nice.
she's probably a betrayer of some sort anyway. But
Yeah. Let's be real.
Devil's
Lilith,
honest.
sorry. Lol.
As honest as they're required to be. Yeah.
I think I found the survivors. Well, I found.
There's survivors.
There's survivors.
The people that were dragged out.
So
What-
not
They're-
survivors.
What happened to them? You don't seem too pleased with the outcome.
Eyes are out, heads are chopped, their faces are gruesome. I just want to make sure you guys are aware that you're going to be walking into this shithole.
I make jokes about reading books, but even this, it's
I
a
don't
way to
think-
cope because I know this is the type of things that happen.
This isn't something you want to add in your book. You want to probably keep it
I'm
child
probably
friendly in this part.
no. Let us go take a look.
Let's wait a second for the others. I'm sure they're not
Oh
far
God,
behind.
yes. Sorry, I forgot they were there. I didn't hear the clinking of armor, so my mind was free for a moment.
Okay, so now you're all together.
What are you all doing out here?
We were waiting for you.
Just dim the lights.
Pointing towards the light coming from
So
from
There's,
up ahead.
signs of dark elf. Drow.
You're still here? Oh, I thought you would have gone running the other way.
no, this is the only way we have to get through, and I just want to make sure everyone's aware that what you will see in there is it's not a good sight.
Just terrible things.
Well, so I'm guessing they're murdered then?
Oh yeah, children and women, boys and girls, their eyes popped out with their heads chopped up. Yeah, all their blood pulled in one, eyeballs kind of cut to the corner. It's not a pretty sight. I just want to make sure everyone's aware before I proceed on further.
Do it.
Because we might be going deeper into this.
Do we want to keep going? The whole point was to save them. If they've all been already horribly murdered and mutilated, that there might not be much left to do.
We're going to find more clues who it was.
We may not be able to find them, but we can find who did this, at the very least.
Alright, I'm just making sure everyone's
This sort of blood ritual
Aware.
can't be allowed.
That's impressive.
We should root them out and burn them.
And if anybody,
If it is drow, keep the lights bright.
okay. Well, let's
like,
go.
yeah.
Let's go check out this room.
Alright, see you after the room.
Just
Does
as she described
do the
it.
number of heads and corpses account for everyone that should be missing?
You don't know because you don't have an exact number.
Aye.
It looks like at least 10 people were sacrificed to do whatever it is that they were doing here.
Is there an exit? Is there one like clear exit, or does it break
no, it's an
into?
obvious exit. It's a wide opening on the other side of the cavern.
Is there blood leading towards the exit?
I want to do a history or arcana to decide of rituals that I might have knowledge of. I'm not like super knowledgeable about Lowell, but just rituals in general. Like what were they trying to do?
You make a religion check.
Make that check.
Yeah, fuck. I'm on a roll today.
That's every day, dude. Let's not pretend.
Goddamn religion, anyway.
Yeah, the crafter map is genius, by the way, Brenda. I love the name of her Discord.
By the way, just for those of you that are sitting here,
You
when I
have
touch
plenty of
that wall,
experience interacting with drow
Kima
because
guessed
the drow
exactly what
are
it was off the sound.
common travelers and have actually a
What?
very good working
No,
relationship
she knows
with
what it
Zamir
is.
That makes sense.
through the underchasms of the Underdark.
No, it's a
When it
wall.
comes to slaves and trade,
It's a
and the
wall.
drow have a really good. They have a really good relationship when it comes to kidnapping people
I
and
wear
bringing them
protects
to
me from
Zamir to
bullshit.
sell to Zamir.
It's a wall.
That makes sense.
And you're familiar with the fact that Drow society is kind of fragmented into a bunch of different kind of social groups. That not all Drow particularly worship Lolth per se, but the Lolthite Drow are especially dangerous and vicious enemies, and you have seen them fight in person before. But as per the ritual, you've never seen anything like this before.
My knowledge of dark rituals is mostly focused on different areas. I don't recognize what this could be.
Dark rituals, religion check. Assisted by Solus?
No. What I was going to say is I was going to take my warhammer and I was going to wreck right through this.
Smash like the
I was
effigies and stuff.
going to smash the fuck out of this effigy.
Yeah, I mean, you can kick the heads and move them, but everything else is pretty much just bloodstains. all over.
Whatever I can do to just mess it up, to just screw it up. I don't want it.
Spit out.
Cleanse it with fire, brother.
You make your check first. It doesn't take you long.
6.
A 6.
Yes, you're right. It doesn't take me long.
It's enough to know that it's some sort of tribute to the betrayer. It's not an arcane ritual, which leads you to believe that whoever this group was has a cleric of Lolth among them, which means that clerics of Lolth are especially dangerous and very powerful foes.
So some sort of priestess.
Yeah, it's a priestess.
So I guess the real question is: were they looking for bodies, or were they after someone specific?
And
Just
as,
took
as
everyone.
he's over here trying to look at this, you see Solos go over and he starts picking up the heads and moving them over there and smearing the bloodlines with his boot, trying to do whatever he can to disfigure this symbol of her power.
Whatever's done is done here.
I'd like to go towards the exit of this opening, and I'd like to do a survival check of some sort, see if I can determine if there's still a large group left over, and possibly if
So
they
you're
track,
searching for a trail?
yeah, like a trail and evidence of numbers, and possibly if they picked up any of the blood walking through.
Okay.
See if I'm trying to determine
Yeah,
if any of
okay.
these people might be left. Ooh, oh, my rolls are going downhill fast. So what's it? 11.
Pull up, man! Pull up!
You can't really be sure. You've never encountered drow before in Errol-Doon
Yeah.
and in the surrounding mountains.
Mhm.
But you've heard stories. And the stories are that if drow are in their natural environment, they're nigh untrackable. And not only that, but they're powerfully innate with magic,
So
capable of casting spells like darkness at will.
now the drow might be untrackable, and so do I see any evidence that I might think is the people?
No.
Shit.
You see no evidence of anybody even traveling that direction. It's kind of what I'm getting at.
Gotcha. I thought so, but I was just making sure.
If we go that way, we go into their world, and we become at a great disadvantage.
These people
Well, that's why I was asking. Are you sure you want to pursue this?
not anymore. What's done is finished. We should close this. Though. Drow are not much for digging.
I look up at the, there's one other door, right?
Yeah, there's just one exit. It's just one pathway, like kind of a
Is
wide,
that
natural,
opens up?
open cavern.
Goes.
I can close this off.
If you go up to the edge, you can see with your dark vision that like it just kind of continues to go downwards, and it looks like maybe there's a wide cavern, a wide section, but you can't see exactly how far it goes. But it looks like maybe there was some kind of like rock slide or something at some point. It's kind of cavern has collapsed partially above you to the right, and it's just kind of rolled down and it's just settled in this room. But it looks like a lot of loose, like shuttle as opposed to just solid rocks.
I can ruin this and make it. I can close this entire area and break this amalgamation.
Cave in at the door. And
Let us move out just in case. I want us to be ready to run just in case it kept spreading.
I mean, we should go all the way out and just cave it in at the door.
Let's cave it. I would like to cave it here to ruin whatever this is.
This is done. There's
True.
no undoing it just because you covered it in some stone.
It might make me feel better at the very least. Defacing whatever this is and the loss of life before it had to experience life.
Well, all I'm saying is it's easier to cave in a little tunnel than a whole
Well,
cavern. But you do as you please, Bard.
the rest of us could get out, and then if you want to break it down here, we'll meet you on the outside.
I agree. We're done.
That way, if it caves in, it's only you.
Whose land does this haven fall under?
Would that be a... Well, I know it's still in the pass in between. Is it actually claimed under anybody's realm or territory? It's just kind of a go-between.
Yeah, it's too wild. It'd be too hard to maintain, especially during the winter years. There's just really no point because nobody travels during the winter and fall.
It's a
Yeah.
shame. Seemed a nice place.
Is there not any other secret doors here? Any more boulders? Any more locks? A path we're not seeing?
Give me 10 minutes.
Okay.
I can ritual cast detect magic.
You don't pick up any residual magic or any signs of any kind of magical spells or arcane lock or anything else like that in the room.
There's currently in the next 30 feet. There's nothing. No magic. No nothing. I could push forward if you'd like.
No.
I think we're done here.
It's better to head back. Probably the path will lead down to the Underdark. And that is not a place I want to be right
The drow are dangerous, even when they're not in the Underdark.
now. You're telling me.
Well then, let us turn around and leave and bury this place. And hopefully those in front of us will find a little bit of rest, knowing that it is broken now.
Any last rites for these corpses? Burn them, send them away. A cleric, paladin.
Scatter them up. Burn them here. As I will spend the time to gather the body and the
They're already basically
eye
piled
jiggly
up.
bits.
Jiggly bits, oh my god.
Jiggly bits.
Yeah, so you put together this heinous gore pile, basically just add the disfigured and dismembered heads and eyeballs and such, and just kind of throw it on the pile, and then you light it up. And it catches fire, and the smoke begins to fill the chamber as the body parts burn. The smell gets into your clothing, gets into your eyes, and into your nose, and altogether it's an extraordinarily unpleasant experience. As you slowly start to you spend all the time that you can, but it's a pretty small chamber and you
Limited
start
air.
to- Limited air, so
Can
Alright, let's go.
you can do that.
Okay, then can I take like some charcoal or something from the fire and like on the other side of this cavern that we're in?
Wait, are you saying you want to use charcoal from the fire, or are you saying you want to take the
Charcoal
burnt
bits.
leftover remains of the people?
No, I don't want to use the burnt leftover. Like something that I can frickin' draw on the wall with. Okay, I don't want to
Well, that's
use
why I was
chalk.
asking if it's you. Like, you have chalk?
I got incense. I can
Okay, sure. And
just smear that on the wall.
Fine.
You know, but on the other.
Chalk comes as a part of your alchemites kit when you take this class as part of your
I gave
background.
you chalk.
It doesn't really matter, but I think it does.
Maybe it does.
Way back when.
But
I
yeah,
just-
sure. So what are you writing on the wall?
I just want to draw the symbol of Parathor.
The symbol of Parathor.
Yeah, on the other side, like where they would potentially have gone down.
Okay.
You know.
So you go around that corner and. Yeah. So as you go out of the chamber with your with your lantern, you kind of sweep it through this wide, downward sloping chamber. For a moment, you feel like you catch something moving, and then you shake it off because you're just like, no, I mean, if they were here, then they would have already came and dealt with us. And you just turn and you go and you draw the symbol of Parathor, and then you turn and give one last look. And you realize that something you were looking at earlier that looked like rock face is kind of gone now. And then you hear like a loud shifting of earth, and then like a crumbling and a small, slight tremor. And you turn and go back into the chamber.
Look on his face.
Right, we should go. We should absolutely go. They either know we're here or something else does.
Then let's move.
And my stubby dwarf legs.
Wait up for me.
I have to run twice as hard as everybody else.
My doors are natural stretchers.
So were you going to stay behind and collapse the chamber, or were you just going to do it from the outside?
I was going to stay behind and collapse the chamber, was the original plan.
So you all leave, start heading out towards the exit, and then you cast what, Shatter?
I was going to cast Shatter at the top. Or in the center, fuck it.
At what level?
Center level.
Third.
Please don't kill yourself again.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I cast third level Shatter.
Cool.
Okay.
Hot.
Spicy.
So,
And I offer a slight whisper to those of you that was sacrificed here. There's nothing I can do. But please, may your souls find your way to the Veiled Queen and to where you belong. I wish you well. And good luck. As I just say, shatter.
okay. So, you kind of bring your hands together in a crushing motion, and you guys, even as far away, you already start to hear like a shifting and a rumbling from deep within the earth. And some of the ground nearby vibrates. You can see pebbles kind of dropping off
We
the
better
side
move
of
faster.
this bank, this overhang.
I'm out.
And you watch as chunks of stone begin to just drop and crash into the ground. It starts to splinter above you and run behind you, and crushing in, blocking the path. You even hear on the other side of the chamber, you feel like the roof is collapsing inwards as you hear loud crashing coming down in the chamber on the other side. And you turn. As you turn, you feel like you catch a glimmer of something in your eye. And as you start to run away, you look, and you see what looks like almost, you're 100% positive, that looks like a small child pointing towards the chamber. And when you look back to confirm, she's gone.
Pointing back.
And you continue running forward. As the chamber slowly but surely collapses inwards behind you, you're running, trying to keep up ahead as this whole section of cavern starts collapsing inwards on itself. And you see Thalen come rushing out through the door, and then dirt and a puff of air pushes outwards behind him as the final stone collapses and the tremor ceases.
And the little girl's pointing at where down the hole.
Done.
Damn!
Down in the depths.
Wow, you made it out. I can't believe it. How fast did you have to run?
Destruction of a nice cave, though.
Yeah, nice cave of death and murder.
You
So
see,
nice.
Better that the drow.
you see Thalen with almost like a far off look. He seems almost distracted.
Are you okay? You made it out. You're fine.
I did say we should collapse it from out here. It's much safer
And that's not what I'm worried about.
than we left behind somebody.
I saw something, and I'm unsettled.
Don't let it unsettle you.
Not
The
a
drow are-
smoke.
No, as I was running out, I don't know what it was, but something compelled me. And I looked, and I saw a little girl, and she was pointing into the cavern that I collapsed.
Sounds like a trap to me.
I don't believe so.
Could be illusion.
Well, unless that dwarf is a gifted miner, digger, we're not going back that way.
I'd like to flip my coin.
Hmm?
And just see what comes up.
Just for
Yes.
funsies?
Yeah.
Shits and giggles.
Yeah, I pull out my coin and I flip it.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, shit.
No. On. It's on.
On.
It's on.
On. It's on.
Well then. I've collapsed it now. There's no getting back unless there's an extra way. So, I only hope I did the right thing.
DM did do the right thing.
Yeah, the only person, Great Paladin, who's not on the info panel is Rowan Doyle. I haven't added Solas yet to that panel of Twitter handles that you can follow. He's Rowan _Doyle
Yep.
on Twitter.com. So
Yep.
he's there too.
Rowan
He doesn't really use it, so don't feel bad if you don't follow him. He uses it sometimes, but whatever.
Whoa, I use it more than D&D is life,
Oh.
Hey, you got me.
Bro, you gotta participate in some stuff online, dude. You can't waste that handle.
Yeah,
I know, I really got to. It's a good one.
It really is.
Do I need to
Either that
check
or
in
I
with you
gotta
on a
hand it off
daily?
to one of you guys.
So, collapses inwards. Aelin comes out distraught. Still, you traveled for maybe 2.5 hours or so. 4 hours total going in and out, back. Here you are in the evening
The way is shut.
in the camp, in the remains of the caravan in the camp.
We did a good thing. This place is safer now, but we should put up warnings. People should be aware of that door and keep an eye on it.
We should not stay here tonight.
I do not feel comfortable.
We should move.
Drow are dangerous, but they don't come up to the surface for very often. And it looks like they got what they needed. But if you don't feel comfortable, we can move.
I think moving would be wise just that way in case anyone does show up. We don't have to explain why we're in a camp full of dead men.
That too.
Aye.
Let us move. I cannot. I'm a little distraught, as I'll continue.
Okay, we'll find another camp.
I just ask for a half an hour of your time. We should gather up everybody that's dead out here, and we'll give them last rites as well, and we'll burn them.
Clear one of the wagons, or it'll save us building a pyre.
So, you guys spend about 30 minutes or so gathering up these lost poor souls as well. Victims of a surprise, it seems, completely unwarranted surface raid by drow from the Underdark looking for ritualistic slaves or whatever terrible ends that they meet. As you gather them up into a pile. So,
Is there a ledger or a manifest of, like...
all the goods?
No, the
Good
people here.
No, there's not.
Okay.
You're looking through all the paperwork and everything. There's nothing aside from like personal, like clothing and a lot like that. People don't really carry that kind of information with them. It's it's
They
more than
were-
likely that these families, since it's a trade merchant caravan, kind of just asked that they could go along. It was just
Security.
they would just expected that they would just pay at the end of the journey or whatever.
And they were starting a brand new life, too, so...
People don't really carry like identifying paperwork or anything like that. There's no social security numbers, no birth certificates. So there's even going through like the heart chests and stuff and finding like just personal wares. All you can really do is just kind of look at it and just kind of wonder what kind of life these people were leaving behind and heading towards, and like get glimpses into like their personalities. You can see that most of them seem to be farmers. The only thing you get is a really detailed set of ledgers over all of the like the trade goods and stock that was here.
I did have a question, a follow-up question. Were there horses there, or are those dead or gone?
They're gone.
Just gone.
Wherever
Okay.
they were, they're gone. Drow have no need for them in the Underdark, so they were probably set loose.
I just didn't want to leave a bunch of horses chained up or whatever, or strapped to this busted up caravan.
Nay,
No,
we are men.
you and Boss actually would both be aware that horses and stuff like that, if you don't need them, are often set loose heading in an opposite direction for false leads.
Mm-hmm.
So that people are looking for the wrong things or, backtracking.
Gotcha.
So, either way, so you gather everybody together and you light a fire and begins burning. The wagon begins crumbling. And slowly but surely, it turns into a blazing inferno and just, you're pretty sure it'll do the job at that point.
Well, that's it. Let's get on down the road. Souls, you find anything in the notes?
No names. Nothing to tell us who these people may have been. Nothing other than what Franzel told us about how they were leaving the oppression.
Well, the Central Vale is also a hard place. So let's get that little red wagon going.
Aye. Aye.
Little red wagon. So how far you guys want to travel, to find camp? Did you still got
It's
about...
still midday-ish, right?
No.
Or it's late day,
Yeah, it's like...
late afternoon.
Yeah, it's late afternoon. It's late.
Plenty of travel time.
Yeah, you guys have about 4 hours or so of daylight left.
So probably a couple hours.
I'd say until there's no more light.
We'll
The
keep
darkness.
traveling till dusk, and then we'll find a place to stay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I can put up on porta tent.
Porter tent.
I just have to find the center is all.
Brought to you by the capsule port.
I don't get it.
Yes, you do. You know.
I get it. I'm trolling.
Oh, I know. That's why I was like, you know. Everyone in this room knows. And 90% of the people who aren't anime fans know.
Either way.
I don't think that's true.
They would know the name Goku and
That-
vegetable. Vegeta.
I know, but you said vegetable and it caught me off guard.
So,
Well, they do know.
You travel.
vegetables are.
with no issue. And you find a nice little safe spot in what looks like some sort of long abandoned cottage of some sort. Wood is falling apart, overgrown. You kind of check it out for a moment to make sure that nothing is living inside, nothing nearby. You find no signs of anything recent having moved in or using it for a lair. I think that this is a good spot to rest for the night. So you make camp and get dinner ready and begin upon your mundane activities that you normally take part in when you rest. And we're going to take a short break.
Oh, people were murdered and sacrificed.
No.
Now I'm sad.
In a blood ritual.
Freaking
Great, Paladin. Thank you so
cows.
much for joining us and hanging out. I know it's
Yeah.
super early there. It's unfortunate that you had terrible dreams and stuff and couldn't sleep and all that stuff. And Chemo, thank you so much for joining us. Farquaad, thank you for hanging out. Tibbs, as always, we love your face. Astral Diamond, thank you so much for being here.
Exact Vengeance, welcome. Good to see you, bud.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry I'm not better at science.
Yeah.
Dead body science. My bad.
Yeah, we have a ton of, experience with that, people.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, you didn't take the forensic kit that they
No,
offered?
I didn't. I don't even have proficiency in a forensic kit.
Wait, is that
I wouldn't know what's really good if I had
not a thing.
But yeah, so thank you so much for hanging out. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content in the show. And Great Paladin, I know this is the first time seeing the show. And yes, this is a physical set. This isn't a green screen or anything.
We're in person.
We built this. We're in
Chained.
person. Chained to the table. We're... we have all the mics and the cameras and lighting and everything overhead.
We're
so-
amateurs at using all of it, but
Yes,
we're doing the
amateurs.
best we can.
Yes.
Do you know what I feel like?
And
I think we're
sometimes-
better than amateurs. We're like,
No, we're not.
Sometimes
we're
the best
average
we
now.
can. is
You're
just
asking
not
for too much.
Yeah. But we appreciate you coming and checking us out finally. Hopefully you enjoyed enough to drop us a follow, come back, and see us sometime. And I know you're on a different time zone, so It's really hard, but
Catch us in the
you
Discord.
can catch us in the Discord. Keep up to date with what's going on. You said you're following our Twitter handles.
Yeah, I
So
follow
Legendary Act for sure. Like we post when we normally post when we go live. We don't always post exactly when we're going live because the live notification goes to so many places. But what was I about to say? But we have all of our VODs on YouTube, so you can check them out there. Listen to them whenever while you're painting. I know I spend all the time on your channel. Either way, so if you are interested in catching up on the story, seeing what it's all about, you can start all the way from the beginning if you want, and you can always catch up with our VODs on the Twitch channel because they're always there for 30 days, something like that.
And
So 30
2
days.
weeks.
If you see any grammar issues on YouTube, feel free to come and yell at me and show me how good my skills are at the English language.
Ingrid.
I think you just did.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. My English language is terrible.
The set was a labor of love,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes, it was.
There was sweat, there was tears, and there was definitely a little bit of blood.
Yeah, and some blisters.
And
blisters.
rocks and fire.
And rocks
Yeah,
and some
we
fire.
got the texture on the wall by using 30-pound boulders by hand.
And then
Yeah.
catching it on fire. It's the most
crushing.
manliest set
Yeah.
ever made.
Yeah.
How'd you guys make that? Oh, we did it with a rock instead of a
We
fire.
appreciate if you do stalk us on YouTube. We appreciate if you like the video. Please like the video and comment on it if you can because that helps tell YouTube that this is complete trash and some people do like it and that helps us go a really long way.
Kima, you're close.
Great Paladin's
Airbrush
great.
kit.
Yeah. If none of you guys watch him,
Watch him.
shame on him because he's a really good painter.
Oh,
He paints a lot of 40K models.
It's pretty
Really
cool.
good.
It's pretty cool.
I always ask him for tips on painting shit while he's live. I'm like, hey, how do you deal with
I
I asked him about painting Imperial Fists and he told me how to do that. So.
I like his
Oh,
little
I'm a-
dragon
oh, see,
animation.
I'm gonna have to stop in and ask some Blood Angels questions because I'm still looking at those going, how do I paint you?
Start with red.
Well, red is done.
Red!
Red is done. Now the question is, where did the other colors go?
Yeah, we
Well,
actually
did you add
red?
You're really close, Kima. We actually used an airbrush on spray paint to put the symbols on the wall to make them look like they have a charred, burnt sort of effect.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it worked because if the first thing you thought was wood burning tool, then we did a good enough job putting them on there.
You should have just told her
Now-
it was.
now
You're
Kind of what it
ruining
was
the
meant to
illusion.
resemble.
The DM screen, was that wood burning?
Yeah,
that was wood burning.
The
Yeah.
DM screen, on the other hand, was wood burning. I should take pictures of it and post it because it's a really awesome custom piece of work with our logo on the front and what looks like claw and fireball strikes on the outside. He did a really good job. Tanner did a really good job.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's,
What was the
it's
circle
awesome.
meant to
Don't let him know though,
Was
because
that supposed to be a
It's a scorching
Kamehameha?
Yeah, it's a scorch mark.
Oh, like Kamehameha?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
we don't have those here.
We can't afford
We
those.
appreciate it. We put in a lot of work into it, and the whole point is to try to give everybody a quality experience. Tuning the mics, the cameras.
We tried.
Players.
and the players. Tuning ourselves. We practiced a lot. We basically worked on this show for about over a year, getting it ready before we actually finally turned on the camera.
That's true.
Practicing our role playing, doing everything we could because we
Table
wanted
etiquette.
people to come here and see it and go well, I mean, I can do that, and we can participate, and everybody can. Just takes some elbow grease and some time and dedication is all it really takes.
The will takes the will.
And some trust.
It takes the heart of the cards.
And trust in a spot where people can, experiment. And we laugh at each other all the time, but it's because we love each other, not because they're terrible role playing like mine.
Aww.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, no, I legit had bad moments. I'm like, we should have done that.
Great
Back up.
Paladin. That's too much of a big compliment.
That is way too much of a
That's too
compliment,
much.
man.
Whoa.
That's way beyond. Now,
Turn it down.
You're so much better than those hacks. Are you kidding me?
That's fight doors. I'm like a DM from Matt Mercer going step up.
I hope so.
Whoa, hey, if you get a DM from Matt Mercer, I mean, that's pretty cool.
If we start a flame war with them, that's good for everybody.
I'm just saying, I don't feel like it'd be a flame war. It'd be us going,
MDK
we love you.
Eminem.
Please don't. Oh my God, love us more.
If they shit talk us, I will drive to LA and find them.
And shake their hands and grovel at their feet.
Exactly.
LA is only 7 hours away. We can make it.
Yeah.
Or just catch them on their way out to Burning Man.
Yeah,
bro.
Hey, we'll do it all on our trip to Area 51.
Exact Vengeance says we should dress up as our characters for Halloween.
I would look ridiculous.
Well, to be fair, Grey Paladin, to be fair,
I'm in.
while
I'm
they
gonna do it.
started with a bunch of support, it did take them a little bit to get like the show going and realize what they were like gonna be and what it was gonna be about.
Yeah. You can definitely see how they've
You can
evolved over
definitely see
time.
how they've evolved over the years, for sure.
Yeah.
And but like where they're at now, they're like
all the time.
There, you were watching episode 1 of season 1 or episode 1 of season 2?
episode 1, season 1, probably.
Yeah, because
It's real good.
yeah, if you go back and watch like a few of their episodes,
Their audio
they
was really
they're-
bad.
yeah, the audio was poor, which we totally understand.
Yeah, so was ours. If you go back and watch our episode 1,
You can't.
it's pretty.
You can't.
You
have to
can't,
listen
and
to
I
it.
need it.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
No.
You have to listen to it in 2 parts because the video was really bad.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think episode 2, the audio was so bad, it just we don't have it.
You basically just see the same thing with us, though. So within like the last, we really hit our stride within the last like
So
10
3
I
months.
episodes or so.
probably episode 30-ish is right where we like really did it because I went back and
Started
rewatched some of
getting, like the light tuned
the
in.
light was tuned in. Our audio's been good for luckily.
except for when we all get really loud together.
It
And we're-
happens.
and we're
We
still
apologize
loud.
if we spike your headphones and
It's
stuff.
just because we're all friends.
Yeah.
Sorry for my hiccups.
Yeah,
I know
What?
that kind
season
of
2 is
spice.
crazy good, right?
Yeah. Oh.
But
I-
if you go back and even their
Is
table
it better
etiquette,
than 1? Because I haven't like fully delved into season 2 yet.
yeah, even when you go back and look at their early episodes, even their table etiquette was difficult.
I do not like season 2 as much as season 1, but I think that's just because I don't gravitate to them as strongly as the first season.
This is
That's
why I
just
was
my-
asking.
That's just my opinion. I don't think they're bad. Don't get me wrong. I do not think that any of the characters are bad. I love Jester and I love Caleb. They're such great characters. They're doing such a good job. I like all the characters to a degree, but something about the table chemistry is not as good for me personally as Vox Machina is.
I don't know. My lovable giant isn't there, and I'm fat.
I actually think Grog Strondraw is probably one of the things that really made me immediately fall in love with Critical Role.
Yeah,
Grog was
that's
good.
very true. Because the first episode, the first thing I ever saw of Critical Role was Strongjaw. They were in, I don't remember what scene it was, but they're all just drinking, and they're with a fire giant, a humongous guy,
Famous headbutt.
and the famous headbutt. I was like, "You're gonna what?" And then Matt's face when he rolled an after 20, he was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you." And I was like, "Oh, do it again."
But yeah, it's great. So that's a huge compliment, man. And we really appreciate it. And we really appreciate you just coming in and checking us out. I've been hoping that you'd show up for like forever, just because like I enjoy your content. I was hoping we could just share this with you so you could see it. So I'm glad that you came, and checked us out.
You said he was in UK.
I believe so. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's in the UK. Yeah, I believe he's in the UK.
Oh no. We need that break.
UK, Scotland, I believe I think Artsy Gem might be in Scotland. I'm not sure. It's one of the 2 of them.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, see, Scotland. So,
Scotland. That's cool. Looks pretty.
He's
cool.
from Scotland.
I've always wanted to go there.
On the stage.
Big
Go to
red
Australia.
city.
But
It's cool.
That went
we're
down
going
the
to
wrong
take a quick
pipe.
15-minute
Holy
intermission, regardless, because some of us got to eat stuff and use the restroom.
And breathe.
Really bad, and breathe. So we're going to run that 15-minute timer, and we're going to be right back
I'm
with
crying.
the party at camp. See
Yeah.
what happens. So thank you so
Thank you.
much. And again, if you've enjoyed so far, don't forget to drop a follow. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and have them come over here because, I mean, we're all about people coming here talking to us and hanging out.
And we love the feedback,
You have the most proper of accents.
And it helps
positive
us,
or negative.
yeah, it helps us improve. We're still like working on improving the whole thing. But either way, we really appreciate the support. So thank you so much, everybody. We're going to take a short intermission, and then we're going to be right back to it. So see you soon. Bye.
Be right back.
I mean, we're gonna try.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna eat.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah, we have to eat.
Yeah, the first
The way
rendition.
to the queen.
What's on my chest?
We are back.
The way to the queen.
No,
It's a start.
So we are back, everybody.
just trying
Sorry
to
about that
help you
slight delay. We're waiting for a couple of people to, be finished with their last second restroom activities, etc. But we are here, so we are glad we can be with you, hanging out. And I was monitoring some of the chat while everybody was away. I see you dropped in there, Papa Swollen. How's it going, buddy? How's it going?
Some people like to call him Big Pop.
Big
Welcome.
Papa.
Welcome back, Astral and
Because
Tiz.
he's swole. Get it? That's why he's big. 'Cause he's
Also,
swole.
how's the tea?
The tea.
the tea and the cookies.
The tea and cookies, not tea and crumpets. Oh, delicious.
Ice cream
What about
soup and
adding-
cookies.
Yeah,
Milk
ice cream,
to
soup, and
tea.
cookies. I like that.
She's
See, I've ne-
It's there. So, Great Paladin,
I can never do it. I tried it.
milk in your tea, yay or nay?
It is
Yay.
yay.
It's an absolute.
Malachi, welcome.
Malachi, we
Hey,
missed
Malachi,
you.
We missed you,
Oh,
buddy.
but that's Malachi.
Tea and cookies.
Peach tea.
Ooh.
Peach tea.
Sweet tea.
Imaginary tea.
So,
What's happening?
There's
Yeah,
nothing.
bad stuff
Milk and tea
happened.
with sugar.
bad,
See, he
bad
knows
stuff
what's up.
happened. So,
Really put your life into perspective.
yeah, doesn't it? In short lives, players,
Mm.
you're disposable. Get used to it.
If I'm
As
disposable,
many
what is
character
wrong
deaths have
with
proven, you're disposable.
Oh.
I will spare no expense on character art, etc.
Well, if I was gonna die, now's the time.
Yeah, exactly.
No. We need to cultivate you first.
So,
Papa Swallow.
you find a nice spot, take camp in this old abandoned shack or hunting cabin up in off the side of the road, about maybe 150 yards or so away from the main road. You set up camp, get a small fire going, firewood, check for signs of anything living in the area, anything making a home or a nest of it. You didn't see anything that seemed strange, just an old abandoned cottage that someone probably used to live in at one point, doesn't anymore.
Are there 3 beds in this cottage?
No, there are not. There are no beds, actually.
Oh, shit.
Sweet.
Well, no bears. We're safe.
I didn't say that. There's owlbears.
Oh, down pillows. I see. Owl bears.
Yeah.
Down pillows.
Not bats. Owl bats.
Owl
You
bats.
know what we forgot to do on break?
Bat bears.
Get it right?
Let's fix the sound.
What was wrong with the sound?
Oh.
The sound.
The sound.
The sound of silence.
Want me to do that right now?
Is it? I just want to know if it's dead or if it turned off.
That's
If
fine.
It still has power and I can turn it back on.
I thought she said Hogwarts for a second. My brain died.
Hogwarts.
I thought the cabin was haunted.
Grr.
You said an abandoned, like, old cabin. I was like, it's haunted. It's like,
It's haunted. It's haunted, or there's 3 bears that live there. There's no 3 bears, means it's haunted.
Maybe there's
haunted.
pigs. In
We're gonna have that little
What about
girl from the
7
cavern.
dwarves?
We're gonna have that little girl from the cavern
No
follow us like it's the Ring or something. She's gonna come out the chimney.
is there a well?
Yeah, she's gonna come out of the ground.
Okay, cool, so it is working then.
What about the 7 dwarves? It could be 7 dwarves.
Well, everybody in the chat, let us know about haunted cabins.
7 dwarves and a chick with Stockholm syndrome? Maybe.
No, it's gonna be 3 little pigs.
Is it made of straw?
Grr. It's an owlbear sound.
Hooger.
Hooker.
Hooger. Oh.
It's not a cat.
Oh.
Do you think in the barns there's like owl bears and people just like, oh, it's just an owl up in the barn. It's really just this giant bear. Just ooh.
What? Hey, Amanda. What's
It's
the
like
ladies
Batman
of
up
the
in the
night call
rafters.
passing down?
Just okay,
Prostitutes.
This is a message to both everybody and
Yeah.
me,
Well,
especially.
I thought it was gonna
Don't
be
knock the
beauty
wall.
hoots.
Things will fall.
What?
That was a cute little rhyme right there.
Can you turn off the light, please?
For safety.
That moment you're so embarrassing that you rhymed 3 times and you realize it.
Oh, you almost did it again.
Thank you.
I know.
So, you make camp. What do you guys do? Sleep. Mostly.
I would like to crawl on a ball.
I'm going to ritually place my sword in the center.
What a surprise. I should just start doing that for you. And the bard casts his spell.
In the center.
Ritually.
Mordecai's tiny hut. Boom, right in the center.
You wait till it's Mordecai's mighty mansion.
I'm waiting. We'll see if you can.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it's magnificent.
A specter of Hugh Hefner in there. Yeah.
Except it's Phelan.
Bar wench bunnies all over the place.
Yeah, I can make that happen.
Well, we're gonna need a guard because the
Um,
horses are outside.
We should probably do it in pairs.
I agree. I actually really like the way that the owlbears / Scrave are in Dauntless. That's exactly how badass an owlbear should be.
They're terrifying, dude.
God.
You're like, we beat owlbears in D&D. We fight those things. I'm like, why are you so evil? Why are you so angry?
Yeah. Throwing tornadoes at you. You're
You're encroaching on their natural habitat. That's what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but these ones fly.
So,
What makes
what makes you think these owlbears don't fly?
I haven't seen it yet.
They have strong wings. They just flap really hard.
Yeah, but like a flying owlbear, dude. Could you look up? Oh my god!
I believe that when owlbears fly. Oh my god!
That's funny.
When bears fly.
When bears fly. Oh look, it's an owlbear.
It's an owl. It's a bear. No, it's an
Back to the
owlbear.
topic. What are you guys doing?
We're gonna have
Cast
a
the spell.
we're gonna have a guard rotation.
Mhm.
And we're going to start up guard for tonight.
Yeah.
Because our horses are outside.
We'll
I'll
do
go
it in
with
pairs. I'll pair up with Alfarius.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'll take the little guy.
How does little guy feel about being called little guy?
It's an insult not to be called little. I'm a dwarf.
Listen, he's not Gimli, bro. Relax.
That's fair.
Some people have self-confidence.
I do apologize. I think I just stereotyped dwarves.
So, guards.
Mhm.
Who's on it? First watch.
These
No.
two. You do want to start?
What two? You two?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go.
Do
next.
second watch.
Yep. Bingo.
Okay. So,
Third.
is there anything in particular you guys want to do during your downtime tonight?
Pillow fight.
I'm just gonna get more information. Just
Make-
get to know us a little more.
Oh
Okay.
dear lord.
Felt bad.
Top off my lantern and keep it lit.
See that glazed over look on it? Did you guys have anything you wanted to?
Yes, I'd like to talk to Alfarius during the watch at one point.
Okay.
A lot of conversations gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not what I meant by downtime activity.
Oh, besides just like an actual conversation, I don't believe I had any other plans.
I need to clean my gear.
Okay.
Being on the road, finally having someplace indoors, even for a little while.
Yeah.
I need to definitely take it apart and not worrying about losing bits.
But it's something we don't have to discuss. It's just it's gonna happen.
All right. If you have questions, ask away. Boss doesn't have much to say. He's just gonna be courteous, small talk, watch through the windows. That's about it.
I think the only downtime activity I had was just reading more in this wizard spellbook I have.
Oh yeah, you're still trying to do that. Huh?
Oh yeah, every moment of my downtime life.
Oh, yeah.
I'll finish my masterpiece later. I'm gonna read this book.
You must write your book.
So you
yes,
see he has this large tome of information he's trying to like decipher, and you can see he keeps going back like erratically, and like he keeps reading it. He has these notes in this ledger, and he keeps like working on it, and he's like, no, that doesn't work, and he's just frustrated with it. And you can see he keeps flipping through these like blank pages, and you catch pieces of the stuff that's actually in the book, the spells, as you recognize a lot of the primary components for most of these spells. But he seems obsessed with these blank pages for some reason.
Throw me a hint. What's one of the spells?
I don't remember. He should have it.
What are the spells in the book?
Oh, I have to.
I have to go through like 8 sessions of notes backwards.
Yeah, I know.
Back into a pile of loot.
I think it's under notes, equipment.
You say bad, Astral. I say free. Monster Hunter World.
How are the windows and whatnot?
They're not there.
They're not there.
Yeah, they're broken. Shutters are on the ground. The whole place is basically overgrown in this really dense, like ivy.
Alter self as well.
And the woods seem fairly calm, and you don't see any walls or any kind of property
Markers.
at all. You're kind of strolling through the property throughout the night and chopping up firewood and getting everything ready.
You've also got like dark vision
there
and
seems to
phantasmal
be-
force.
Birds and everything seems fairly serene. There's nice, cool breeze coming down through the night, and the stars and the constellations shine brightly. You can see the well, I'm just going to call it for reference, but you see like the Milky Way.
I see something out there. Who knows what it means, but there's a bunch of little dots.
The legend is that that's the remaining like miasma of the creation of Terrowyn, the leftover magical energies that just kind of sit on the outskirts of the planet and help maintain some people say it's like the edge of the veil, and that like you can, if you could get there, you could walk to the other side. So
All right. So as we're changing guard and he's up a little early going through his book, I kind of just glance at it. A transmutation, something for vision.
I'm sorry, what? What? Huh?
The book.
Yes, it's book.
It had a spell inside.
Let's
Something
go
to
mini
change.
spells in blank pages.
I feel like you don't know what your book is.
I always know what books are. Books are books.
Do you? Do
Captain
you know that
Obvious.
it's a spell book? Let's start there.
I know it's a wizard's spell book, to be precise.
And have you been trained to cast wizard spells?
You saw me bring down an entire underground tunnel system with but my hands.
So no book.
I don't need a book. I use my emotions.
So not a wizard.
No, I'm a bard.
Different.
Yes, but the same.
But what are you going to do with that book?
Find out what pages are blank.
I could tell you.
Really?
It'd take me 10 minutes.
Absolutely, I would love to know. It's been like 3 months now. It's starting to really, really drive me crazy.
All right. I set that book down closed, open my book next to it, flip to the identify page, and start casting the ritual. Creating the runes above, kind of just floating there like smoke,
I'm going to start sketching out the runes he's doing with his
drawing
finger.
it out.
Got
And
my
after
little
10
book.
minutes,
Start
kind
drawing
of
it.
just tapping in the center, and they go up in flames and disappear. And it's identified.
What's on the blank pages?
I don't know. The identify will tell me if there's anything, if it's not hidden very well.
That's why I asked what are the blank pages.
I look into the identify spell.
the identify spell just tells you exactly what you already know. It tells you that it's a wizard's spell tome and it's magical. And it gives you, I believe I already gave you the name of the spell book, didn't I?
Yeah, so yeah, let me double check.
It tells you that that's the name.
Some description.
The blank page.
The bullshit spell.
I have the name.
There seems to be
Spellbook
there
bullshit.
seems to be like a strange additional like enchantment on it, some sort of illusion or something that might possibly be able to dispel. But you have to identify what that was to dispel it.
It might take more than 10 minutes, but I can crack it. In the morning, I'm tired.
But it's mine.
Okay, figure it out on your own. I push it back towards him. I don't want the book, I'm simply helping.
I pushed back. That was
I
too
closed
easy. There was no
my-
banter. Thank you for your help.
Banter.
Yes.
Just ask for the things you want,
But-
and you can get them. I prefer a straightforward approach.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help. If you're willing to help in the morning, I would appreciate it.
I can help tomorrow.
Of course. I believe it's time for my watch, so.
Night night. As Lumia was just sitting in the back, just listening to you guys without you noticing.
She's talking.
She also does this thing where she appears randomly, and if I had
I've traveled with Tabaxi before.
I almost said something out of character. I was like, I almost said if I had a soul, I would have jumped out. But that's a ginger. Sorry, force of habit.
Force of ginger.
Force of ginger. Yeah, she tends to scare you out of your shoes more often than not. But have a good night.
I will. Don't let anything kill us.
No promises. I jest. I will do my best to prevent death.
Good.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna go sit down and talk with Alfarius for a minute.
Okay, well, through the night, various things, you have that conversation. In in the distance of the camp, maybe a few miles away. Hargraves, you hear a pack of wolves in the distance. Become aware of like the moon and the brightness and the clearness of the sky, and you have this almost wild yearning to just want to run the forests again and go hunt something. And it's just in this place, particularly hearing something so closely related to you personally in that way, you almost feel kind of out of place for a moment in this party of normal people in the world. Yes, some of them have divine power and some of them have infernal heritage, but you become sort of self-conscious about the fact that like none of them are like you. None of them experience what you experience, and none of them have the burden of a very real curse on their person. Something that takes extraordinary focus to deal with, and you don't feel like they'll ever really replace the pack in that way. Maybe they will in the future, but hearing the wolves in the distance off hunting some deer or some rabbit or something through the night, running free with the breeze over the rocks and through the trees and the different pathways, smelling the world as it comes rushing into your face, and the adrenaline pumping through your veins of a kill at your claws, and the satisfaction that comes with successfully catching some wild prey in that beautiful circle, that dance of nature that Lafana has designed. You can get lost in that. For a moment, you just really wish you were there, running free in the world without the burden of the party.
I'm gonna get up like I'm gonna go take a meet with nature.
Lake?
Yeah. I'm gonna get up. I don't have my armor on. I'm in the buff. But I grab my belt before I leave. And then as I get clear of the camp, I take a moment. And I'm like, it's been a while. One good run won't hurt anybody. And I'm going to rush off past the trees and transform and go see what I can find. Just try and recapture that for what it means, at least for a moment.
So you take off, shedding the skin from your body, sliding onto the ground. As you take that form once again of that standing, hulking wolf, you disappear into the wilderness. For a few minutes, you run, leaping over fallen logs and splashing through a running creek, and closing ever in on this scent of something in the air. You keep running, and then you find yourself in a small pass, a dip in the creek where low water levels are keeping it fairly shallow. And then at the edge of the stream, you see cross in front of you a large white wolf, followed by several gray wolves and a black. As they hit the water and splash through it, sticking their snouts into it, drinking and continuing forward in small circles, searching and smelling, and then you see them snap their heads to you and they look. And there's a communication in the eyes as this alpha, this leader of the pack, invites you to the hunt. You get the feeling that they want you to be there.
I approach with an air of caution, looking for any signs that I may have misinterpreted. But I do approach, and I go with them, at least for a little while.
Yeah, so they kind of start running off ahead as one of them snarls and growls and like begins barking, and the others, they start taking off into the wilderness, and they come back up the bank and start dashing forward, running ahead at this brilliant speed. This trademark, all too familiar style of hunt as they split off into small groups. And you climb up the bank and start going, and there's a moment of hesitation, and then the large white wolf turns and looks at you, and turns and starts running, and you follow into the wilderness. And then maybe a mile or so away at camp, you guys hear the sounds of the howling of wolves echoing through the wilderness off the trees.
Those are a tad bit closer than I'd like.
I can never tell with the trees in the forest and whatnot how far out they are.
I did have some questions for you, Alfarius.
Yeah? What's on your mind?
The ritual in the cave.
Yeah. Definitely left a sour taste.
It left something else, too. When I saw the children taken and have done what they've done to them, I felt rage, not just anger, but I didn't even know how to react. It was hatred. I wanted to hurt those that did this. I wanted revenge. But I didn't know how to handle it. That's why I was so quiet. It's why the little girl, when I was running out, it made me feel like we could have saved something or someone or avenged it. How do you deal with the anger, the rage? As a red dragonborn, I feel like of anyone in this group, you have tempered your anger and your rage more than anyone else.
Well, I stiffen at it. I felt the fire. I did. It upset me. I felt as my tail begins to move faster. The heavy plate just sitting heavy on my shoulders. I felt the inferno burning in me. I wanted to scream into that darkness and as a challenge, but I knew it wouldn't have been a smart thing, a wise thing. I know that much. I'm not the smartest, but I'm no fool. For the anger, though, it's something we all master in the end. I haven't completely gotten control of it as I begin to pace.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have faith. Now you say you're dealing with thoughts of revenge.
You're okay, Wiz, man. We appreciate you just stopping by.
Yes. When I was in there, all I could think was finding the creatures that did this. I felt almost like something was in my blood asking for it, telling me that whatever these creatures were, they were not. I think it was the elven side of me. They were asking for these betrayers to be taken care of and killed and removed. And I wanted to. I wanted to rush down that hole and either get revenge or save somebody. There's one of my biggest life aspirations. It's a personal one more than anything. I'm not a good bard. Not really. I'm good with a sword, more than the most. I can fight, I can duel, I can best most people who would wield a sword. But I have the gift of magic, and my teacher taught me how to wield magic with my emotions. They drive me more than anything. And I have a dream, really. one bard, I should say, has gone to the gods and performed. And he sung for them, invited. I want to do the same, but I only have one thing to really give to them, and that's my story. That's been my driving force with most things, most actions, most heroic deeds, is to write a story with my life that means something more than ever. Something that is worthy for the gods to listen to. Maybe if we have another individual who can speak to them, show them humanity at its finest, maybe they might pay more attention to us. And this was the first time I felt that wasn't on my mind. I felt driven by anger, rage. It was almost uncontrollable. Thankfully, we have something else that required my attention in the back of my mind, Casey, that drugged me from running and trying to find those that did this. And I was just wondering how you tempered it. I've rarely seen you get angry. Very few times I've ever seen you rage. The only time, even when you were facing down Lilith, you were not angry. You had faith. I was just curious what you did.
You fear this, Oh, it's hot in here. I walk out. I walk outside. Too hot in the cabin.
I follow.
Do you fear this anger is going to taint your heart?
I feel that it may cloud my judgment enough that I hope not, but I just want to make sure that if this ever happens again, that I'm ready for what might happen when it comes to the anger and rage. I don't want to lose another friend. Riken had his moments, but he was a friend, and I was willing to help him with the things that troubled him. And now he is gone, and I hate this feeling, because we build bonds together stronger than most. And to see our friends disappear, it troubles me more. I'm just, I guess, asking, how do you end up so tempered?
My advice for you, Thalen, is this. You can hold this anger in the back of your mind for a later date. But do not hold that hate in your heart, or it will taint you. It will cast a shadow across all the work that you do. You'll know when the time comes to use that anger. I know Taylor has put me upon this path. Now, I know that was a ritual to loft back there.
You do me cursing.
I know it was Priestess Loth back there that did that. I would love for revenge, but we cannot hold that in our heart. People need to look up to us. The knight in me wanted me to scream out and to swear oaths of vengeance and to bring a party and to storm off into the dark. If I could have, I would have burnt that whole cave down, but it's made of stone.
I don't feel like that could have stopped you.
I wanted to try. But the paladin in me knew better. I put my hand on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Through Taylor, we know forgiveness. Pray to her. Pray with me. Let go of this hate in your heart. But between us, you can hold that saw. It's getting jiggy.
That's the wrong mood music, fella.
Yeah. Are you trying to?
Is that why it's hot in the cabin?
Yeah.
It's hot in this cabin, we go out.
That's why we
Pray
went
with me.
outside.
You were watching before you came over.
Whatever it was made in the 80s.
And it's
He's so red. Oh, yeah, I didn't know you were playing a dragonborn. so
What a great scene to develop and be completely fucking ruined by no other than Alex.
Hold on. I can wrangle this back. So there I was with my hand. Yeah. Big dragon teeth. So there I was with my claw on your shoulder in a friendly way.
Completely platonic.
Completely platonic. As friends who have been together for quite a while.
Alone on the road for so long.
Are you sure Thalen didn't brandish his sword?
Oh no. I know it's stuck in the center.
Is your story really an adventure novel or is it a romantic novel?
You're killing me.
Right in the middle somewhere. I can tread both lines. I'm ready. I'm a good writer.
Oh
Oh, it was a TikTok, right? It was a TikTok.
That's what they all say.
Someone hit this man with disapproving.
no. Disapproving Lilith.
Do I have it? I don't
Disapproving
have it.
Lilith if you don't agree with the relationship. Lumi heart emotes if you're like, damn.
Yeah, I'd totally ship out there at Thalen.
That's a weird one, but fine.
One of them's a half elf and one of them is a dragon. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, you just gotta have faith.
Yeah.
Faith.
What they are doesn't matter. They're love.
Relationships are built
Oh,
on
dude, look at all the
commitment
shipping.
and faith.
God.
Oh, now that we've reeled it in, everyone can breathe again. Let us.
Malachi says I'll ship it for now. We're
Oh,
good.
there it is.
Uh-oh.
Single taxes.
Everyone's Oh, Lord.
Thank you so much for weighing in, audience.
Yeah.
Make them understand.
Well, now you guys got to kiss.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seal
those are
the
the
deal.
rules.
Yeah.
The fandom officially shipped you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got the emotes.
Yeah. Like I said,
I'm
you
not
call a
gonna
lot. That's not what the audience asks for. You gotta make them happy.
Oh, jeez.
Please do.
That's
Yeah.
fair. There's probably like a half minotaur out there somewhere with your name on it, Dalen.
For your time in the Feywild.
Yeah, I'm saying, dude. Like, there's some stuff out there.
That was
You're gonna be
wild.
running into all kinds of adopted, like kids asking who you are and stuff. Man.
Good job, Alex. You made this
You're
happen.
gonna be like, you know what? You're gonna be like Dewey Cox from the end of fucking Walk Hard.
Oh
dude.
my god.
Where he's just playing catch with all of his.
What's your name again? Are
Hard,
you sure you're mine?
hard,
You're all mine, I swear.
down the rocky road.
All right, so
Giant angry
was-
dragon claw.
let's wrap up the love here.
Yeah, the love.
We're
the
gonna
bro
get some
love.
official fan art content here for
Yes!
King
It's gonna be
Yes!
nice. So, my hand on your shoulder. Let's close our eyes and pray. Let us pray together to Taylor. Taylor, please release the anger and the regret in our hearts. Relieve us with the anger in our minds for the war to come.
Taylor, I may not be a normal worshipper of yours, but I tend to worship most gods in some form or another. I know you all have your individual areas of control. So please, Taylor, all I can ask is that you help release my anger.
This is getting hot now.
Stay in character. I whispered it. Stay in character. Get us out of the scene.
Please help me release my anger and not let it ruin this beautiful friendship that I have with my party. And not take it down a path I was not quite ready for.
Yeah, I guess not.
As I said, by Taylor's will, by Taylor's blessing, let this be done.
Let this be done.
And Phelan, I want you to know as a friend. I mean, I swore over Riken I would let nothing ever come between us. But if this anger ever gets the best of you, I won't hold it against you. I go back to guard. I don't let nothing come between us. There, that's all you get. Maybe the start.
Look at what you've done, Alex. You tainted everything. I would like to declare a late trial. The jury is tainted.
This is an 18 or older stream. You can get the uncut version later on our Patreon.
So is this going to be?
That Damon's writing? Yeah.
So is this going to be one of those things where you guys are hinting at it for like sessions to come, and eventually at the very end it's like, will they, won't they?
In the words of Astral Diamond, release my rage.
So, as you go to guard.
No, it's all right, man. Cheers, man. It's not bad.
Through the night.
Awesome.
That was great. That was fantastic.
Night is quiet and calm, passing without incident. Sometime late into the shift, Hargraves comes back to the camp. His belt on him.
Just I want to make sure I have this right. You only have your belt on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw him run off naked, right?
Yes.
Someone definitely did. If it was probably the
He
Bax.
really had to go.
The Bax was probably sitting on the roof, like just.
Oh no,
enjoying
he
the night.
forgot his pants.
So, for anybody who doesn't understand, he's playing a blood hunter, an order of Lycan, so he's a werewolf. So, yeah, that's some fan art for you there, Queen Beezy.
A Goliath, by the way.
Like, ripped,
Yeah.
naked, think Greek statue.
Thinking.
All I see is just like a butt, and then it just turns into a wolf, and I'm like, oh, okay. I think it's time for bed.
So, eventually, your time at watch passes, and you go to wake up Riken and.
Oh no.
Nope.
Not Riken.
No one's raking up Riken.
Same thing. The only thing I can't do is the Veil Queen.
They tried.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
We're gonna actually go wake up.
What is your name?
Hargraves.
Boss. I already did my
I
watch.
thought
Yeah.
I did
Oh
first
no.
watch.
You guys did first watch?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought they were first watch.
No,
No, they're first, they're
You're
second. We're supposed to be third.
So-
But he ran off in the middle of the night, so I bet you he'll be tired now.
Nah, I'm so tired.
No, I didn't know you were first. I wouldn't let you guys go first.
No, we can switch it up. If that was first, we'll carry
Yeah,
on.
we'll call this first watch. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
in charge. I do what I want.
Okay, so we're first watch because that was perfect
We did
drama.
leave it pretty.
Ruined. Actually, not ruined. Enhanced
Enhanced.
by Alex. Enhanced.
It's not ruined because, you know what, ultimately,
That's
people
fun.
should clip that and
'Cause-
just play it back.
By the way,
That
Alex, I need a high
Alex's
five. That was
complete
fantastic.
embarrassment.
I loved it.
What?
That, I had so much
I've
fun
never
with
heard
that.
him
That
so
was
quiet.
good.
You know?
But yeah, that was great. Hey, the audience loved it. That's what we're here for. Quality entertainment. Share that
Malachi,
core fantasy stuff.
Malachi dropped the double entendre is thick enough to put a condom on it, and I couldn't stay in character.
Yeah.
There was
It broke me so hard.
there was some good comments.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
that's like how far it is.
it was so
Yeah,
good.
Astral Diamond has a point. That's probably going to be really uncomfortable for you. But we're going to move past that. So on to second watch. So you're roused from your sleep by Alfarius, who slowly shakes you both awake and explains that he's fucking tired.
I'm sleepy.
What's he say?
All right. I suppose I'll take watch then.
Oh shit, we gotta go grab Lumi. I think she's on the roof.
She's somewhere.
I'll get her.
Are you sure?
I can get her.
Really, you just probably have to talk, and she'll come chasing after you because she wants to know all your little dirty secrets. Good luck with that, by the way.
She seems chatty.
Thank you so much. It's a break.
Yeah, you're doing us a real favor.
You're an honorary friend in my book.
Sure. Okay.
I go lay in
You
my
sure she's on the roof?
She's somewhere.
Okay.
If you have catnip, pull it out. She'll right to you.
Well then. Sleep well.
Have a wonderful mid-shift.
We'll be in the bubble.
Bubble of safety.
Leaving this tiny hut.
And I can go to my bed and fall asleep.
Yep.
Quickly.
Okay. So, Voss doesn't have much to do. He's just gonna go out, look for Lumi. Are you hiding? Or are you
Mhm.
obvious? No. You awake?
Well, I was overhearing their conversation.
So you were eavesdropping? Yes. All right.
Hashtag didn't want them.
So I guess it's our time to watch.
Well, you should have seen it. I just saw the weirdest thing. Like, I saw, like, a butt-ass naked thing, and then it just suddenly turned into a puppy tail and then off into the distance. I really thought I was dreaming. Like, I woke up because I heard a strange noise.
Okay.
And then I was overhearing, then I kind of heard, Alfarius and Theos talk. I guess something about releasing. It's quite
Up here.
I guess it's what they call manly talk.
Good for them. Seems healthy. All right. So you're gonna stay up there. Seems like a good place to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find that, whatever that was. I'm pretty sure I wasn't dreaming. I'm gonna be on the lookout for that fuzzy buttocks.
Didn't Hargreaves come back?
Yeah, you saw him come back. If you took second watch, you saw him come back.
Did I see?
If you've been awake this whole time, which you should have been resting, but if you've been awake this whole time, yeah, you heard him come back. You're very perceptive.
Have you had any sleep yet?
Here and there. It's just, yeah. I'll stay awake. Don't worry. If I take a nap, I'll let you know.
Okay. Alright.
I'm still convinced it's still out there. Even though I saw Hargraves come back.
Awkward guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much to ask.
Ambitious.
Gonna watch.
And I'm reminiscing what happened in my drow days, and it's just.
Are you? Oh.
In a bad way.
You should really talk to me about the anger in your heart.
No, I'm just up by myself in the rooftop. I'm just thinking about what happened. And just remembering being near that situation. That's our watch.
So, you ritual casted your Find Familiar, right?
Yeah.
It came back as a bat? So
Yeah, I got him kind of going around the hut from tree to tree, just kind of looking out.
It's up there. It's just hanging. You look, make sure it's near camp, and you see it up in the tree hanging from the branch, kind of just flexing its wings out, just keeping an eye out generally on the area. Every once in a while, you take a moment to kind of see through its eyes, see what's out there from its perch, see what's going on. You don't see much other than some raccoons scurrying nearby through the underbrush and heading into their den.
I think about dinner.
Eventually, through the night, slowly but surely, the sounds of the wolves hunting in the distance have dissipated. You realize that Hargraves was basically naked, sleeping in his bed.
Fresh air.
Make an assumption about. You're not sure. It's not completely unfamiliar. It does remind you of the sort of open and almost kind of carefree society that Zamir has to a degree. They don't feel shame about nudity or consider their bodies almost a work of art. And you feel that he probably feels the same way about his, and it's kind of a moment of, like crossing cultures and just, like wow, he really just doesn't care. No issues whatsoever.
All right then.
But late at night, as you're beginning to grow tired at the end of your shift, you suddenly get a paranoid feeling. You look around the camp, looking out towards the tree line, towards the wilderness, up towards the rocks. You're certain, without a doubt, that somebody is just watching you. And then it passes. And you go to wake up the next watch. Just like a cat. Nah.
Straight in.
Yeah.
Well, it's watch time.
What? What?
It's watch time. It's
5 more
very-
minutes.
It's very unusual to see the moon this way.
What up, my marvelous body?
Just don't turn around.
Oh, I turn around.
Oh.
As he like stretches and gets out of bed, you become increasingly aware of just the defined, like, corded muscle and the completely built body of a Goliath. Just like you've seen Goliaths before in different places in one form or another, but you've never had this kind of an almost intimate look at just the differences between them and just normal humans. Being this astute, observative mindset that you have, noticing the scars and the brute and the parts of him that you're like 100% sure that normal people don't have these muscle groups. So you take note of it. You're like, it must be the giant blood.
Hey, must be the giant.
Did you already wake up, Solus?
I think Goss is doing that. I'm going to bed. Night.
So, you wake up to a pretty fiendish-looking fellow.
Good morning.
I kneel down and I put a hand on your shoulder. Kind of, it's time for your watch. Oh, I get that a lot. I stand up.
It's no offense intended. It's just
Like I said, I get that a lot.
I
Face is messed up.
I'm sitting outside on the porch,
Funny.
on the cabin porch, still naked,
okay.
enjoying the fresh air on my skin,
I kind of
Just
point to where he
winging it.
goes.
letting it all hang out.
Just naked. Careful with that.
I and me pajamas are me Smith's apron, nothing more. What's the problem?
Learning a lot about this party today.
Sleeping habits, repressed sexual ambitions.
It'll never be accepted.
Yeah, they'll never
My
understand.
parents will never understand.
My parents will never understand.
Our DM will never let this go. DM. Anyway.
You get to worry about our followers letting it go more than me.
Alright.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm going to, before joining him out on the porch, I'm going to my now dimming lantern. I'm gonna retop it off and make sure that flame is nice and bright.
Okay.
And make my way out to the porch to join him as I'm there in my apron and he's there in his belt.
Oh, I was beginning to wonder if you were going to come out and join me.
Got to fill up the lantern first.
What is it with you and that thing? It's like you're obsessed with it, always polishing it and refilling it. It's like you can see in the dark, right? You're a dwarf. That's a natural ability of your people.
It's a relic from my hometown in the Shamara Desert. We used to have a shrine to Parathor there, and this was one of the holy items we kept there. So, as a dedication to Parathor and me worship for him, me keeps it lit and make sure it's in good condition, and it's just a show of my faith to him every single day.
You would think you would have it, like, leave it up for other people to enjoy as opposed to taking it on your travels.
It's difficult to let people enjoy it when there's not a place for them to to visually look at it. So it gets more sight on me hip and in me hand than it would where it was resting.
Well, what about the relevance of the shrine? Surely people went there to visit the shrine.
Aye, when it stood.
Oh, something happened?
Aye. Me doesn't know if the shrine is still standing, more or less, but it's not of this area anymore.
You lost me.
You know of like the Feywild and like the different realms and planes. See?
Yes. I'm no expert, but I'm familiar.
Neither am me. But it's lost in another place.
Your shrine went to another plane?
More like the whole town.
Did that happen? How are you here? You can just speak plainly. It's just you and me.
Have you heard of the Shadowfell?
I've heard a bit about it, yeah. The Veiled Queen resides there to a degree.
No. Well, you'd think a place where a god resides to a degree would be nicer. But anyway, it was a day like any other, you know. We were tending to the crops, mining, you know, nothing too special. And it was like a whirlpool in the sand. It just opened up and swallowed of it, all of it.
Where were you when this happened?
I was tending to the crops. Me swallowed with it. It's a dark place. You know, the name Shadowfell, it almost implies it. But it's a host to things that thrive in the night, in the dark. Terrifying things. Things that keep me wanting to keep this lantern lit. Mostly for me faith, but also to protect myself.
But if your whole town got transported or taken to this other realm, how are you here? I thought your story was you grew up in a temple and you heard about some heroes off in some far-off land and went to go join the heroic version of a circus.
No. Me joined up with the temple during the war with the orcs. And after that orc war, and just sat there, you know, studying the teachings of Parathor, me heard about the Guardians of the Veil, formerly Exodus. And me thought, if me was going to spread Parathor's light, his teachings, his love, what better way than out helping people, like the Guardians do.
So your town that was before?
That was before.
You see, what I'm wondering here is, how are you here?
Well,
where's your town now?
Me assume still in the Shadowfell.
Then why aren't you in the Shadowfell?
Because of the lantern. Lighting the lantern, upon taking the lantern and lighting it, me doesn't understand it myself, but it was almost like the light led me out.
So your town got shifted to this other realm.
Aye.
And in your moment of trouble, you lit the lantern and it guided you out? What about your friends and family?
Me would like to say me stood and fought and tried to, you know, help them. But in that moment, without the sun above me, without the familiarity of the warmth of the sands and the mines, and everything me knew. Me was terrified. So me grabbed what me could from the shrine, and me ran.
You know, I don't know exactly what you went through, going to a whole nother realm of existence. But you should know it's okay. Sometimes you just have to survive. Even when you're in dire situations, maybe people are depending on you. Things happen. You do your best in the moment, and then afterwards, try and carry on, make the best of situations. Are you going to try and go back?
Maybe eventually, but me doesn't know if me can face me family and friends, hoping they're still alive. But how can I return a proud dwarf when me ran, when they needed me most?
Kind of sounds like your pride's keeping you from being the dwarf you want to be.
On to another subject. What did you think of the shrine? The bleeding-eyed statue?
I wasn't really sure what to think of it, to be honest. I was caught off guard. As you know, I worship the Veiled Queen to a degree. I'm no astute cleric, learned man of faith, or Goliath of faith, but when everything's said and done, I know that she's basically the one who just helps sort out the good from the wicked, and I'm hoping maybe she'll show me some favor. Well, that symbol honestly could have meant anything. You know, it does mean that she's with us to a degree. She showed us something. But could it be tied? Could be tied to that ritual? Lolth and dark blood rituals and souls and claiming slaves and sacrifices. Could be that those souls went someplace they weren't supposed to. Could have been a special message just for you, given what I just learned. Just like you getting out of the Shadowfell, we make the best of it. At least she's talking in her own way.
It feels like a bad omen.
Yeah, well, at least you have a bad omen instead of no omen at all. You can be cautious, prepare. You can only do the best you can. Sometimes that means we end up dying, but maybe it's meant to be. As a man of faith, you should know that. You just do the best you can, try and serve your God, do what your purpose is. In the end, you're going to go and be in Parator's light, or whatever the specific details are. You have a destination. You're obviously chosen. You're supposed to do something. Me, I gotta do the best I can. Not all of us are teacher's favorite.
Alright, well, me would like to think it's as easy as that. But, as a cleric, me needs to understand and represent all of the gods. Me may be devoted to Parathor, but that doesn't mean me is not afraid of stepping on another god's shoes.
Well, maybe... Here's a question. Before you got taken, transported, did you ever have these strange powers, this strange connection, this favor of the gods?
Aye, there was a holy man there who taught me, a little.
Well, maybe the reason you got taught is because you need to take that light to the darkest spots. It's just some basic way of looking at things. Anyway, I'm not a philosopher. I just do the best I can. Alfaris is much better at this kind of stuff. Honestly, it makes me a little uncomfortable.
Well, if me's
Especially
going
while you're naked.
if me is going to be perfectly honest, it's a bit easier to speak to you than Alfaris sometimes. Alfaris may be a man of faith, but he's a bit abrasive. His views are stronger than mine.
Take it as a challenge. I'm pretty abrasive too sometimes, but that's generally when I have to be. I respect that you speak straight and don't mix up your words and try and trick me or anything.
No.
I'm honestly surprised you've been so comfortable given my own circumstances. And I'm not just talking about the fact I'm naked.
He's going to kind of laugh at that for a second. And then he's going to pick up his lantern.
You're all right.
He's going to go walk off for a little bit, little dwarf butt.
That little dwarf has a long journey for such little legs.
Do those legs go all the way down?
Oh, jeez.
Kickstand it like mini-me.
Oh, there's a tripod.
Speaking of Austin Powers, I had to throw a little reference in there for the Austin Powers fan in there.
Oh yeah, they're making a fourth one now.
So
He's been trying to get a fourth one made for a long
I'm
time.
so into it. I don't care. I'm watching the shit out of that.
I just kind of relax against the side of the cabin, keep him watch as best I can.
So,
Still naked?
Yeah. Feels good.
it's frisky.
Feels
You're,
good.
you're basically naked. Whatever.
Yeah, you're naked
I'm
all the time.
inclined.
You just have a bunch of body hair in funny places. Puberty hitting you weird.
Tell Maxie you're ready. So,
It's actually like human
now
mini.
we're done with biology and anatomy and sex ed classes for the
Oh
evening.
my god.
It ain't over till it's over.
This is amazing.
It ain't over until an hour bell flies.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of.
Oh no.
So, yeah. Albert don't care.
Super cereal.
Never stop partying.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, it's cool. Slurms
I'm so
McBear.
tired. So very tired.
I'm so tired.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. I could reach it, but I didn't have these stupid arms. Oh my god. Anyways, we're going beyond this because it's going to kill us. We'll never stop talking about Futurama.
Oh shit.
So, eventually the first light of dawn breaks over the mountains, coloring the sky in beautiful patterns of orange and yellow. A holy time for worshippers of Parathor, especially the first light of the day, considering the refreshing of your faith or your energies and mainly just really your faith, your energy, your drive, your wisdom. With it comes with it this idea that you get like another chance to kind of reevaluate the previous day or your previous life and bring forward with it new learned wisdom. There's a soft light dew on the grass. You're all slowly roused from your sleep by the last watch to pack up camp. Some of you modest yourselves by putting on more clothes than you are currently wearing.
You guys are putting on clothes?
Armor.
Oh, I don't want to make this weird.
Armor, a lot of it.
Your armor feels heavier today, though, than it did the day before. It feels like it's weighing on you. Your weapons feel like a hindrance, almost. Like what good are these if you can't rescue people? They don't mean anything if they can't be used for good. And in that, to a degree, you failed somebody, people, possibly. You can't be sure because you didn't follow through. You didn't know if they were all dead or if some were missing, but either way, fate has it as fate had it for your characters, for the world. So, you saddle your horses, gather your belongings, clean up camp as best you can to make it leave as little few clues as possible as to having stayed there, so that anybody or anything that may be following you might miss it.
Greyjacks.
Yeah, great chance.
Werewolves.
And you ride. Through the course of the day, you take a break from a small patch of grass under a tree and rest the horses. Eat a light lunch. Continue down, ever down. The air becoming thicker, and you feel more energized. The trees breaking, and from the scattered shuttle and rock of the deep, high mountain passes, eventually turning into the soft ground and soil that you're familiar with underneath your feet. The forest grows dense and thick. And you come round a large canyon in the bend, in the path, very regularly used. You can see the wear and tear from carts, and you find a bridge that crosses over this ravine. And you see signs back the direction you came. Titan's Pass. Across the bridge, further north, you see the name of a small town called Axeville. But west, continuing the direction that you would, ever rounding and following the road, the mountain pass opens, the ravine, a waterfall, passing just under it as it comes over the top, over the road above you, dropping down into the canyon below, into a rapid torrent and river. Opens the vast, wide plains of the West Dales. And this opening space, seeing it for what it is, the green woods, the wetlands around you, you see the ruins, the ancient castle in the distance of the Aldwell estate, long abandoned due to an earthquake. But down below, still maybe less than a day's worth of travel, half day's worth of travel, you see the flying standards of the Aldwell family and the city of Fallmint, where some of you began this journey to begin with, hopping on the caravan, crossing the Greyspire Mountains into the Central Vale. You see the Aldwell family castle, high, up towards the cliffs and mountains, the city below, the smoke coming from the many, many chimneys and textile and mercantile factories, hard at work. You can see, barely, what looks like the shapes of wagons going up a long road up further into the Greyspires from where you are, towards the vastly rich gold mines that make this land, this estate, this family so wealthy, so powerful. until next Friday. The West Ales.
The West Ales. West Side.
Is it Odwell? O-D-W?
Aldwell. Yeah. Aldwell.
Sorry.
You guys are getting an updated map in the
Updated map.
Yeah.
Update.
Updated
I've been putting a lot of work into it, rearranging it, making some things, and there's some stuff before we clean up at the end of the night, whatever I want to go over with you guys before we move on. But yeah, thank you guys, thank you everybody who hang out with us, thank you everybody who stays up late. You are true champions. You are legends. You are legends.
Legendary
Love
legend.
you. Thank you so much, Astral Diamond, Sieg, everybody, Kima, the people that left and went to bed. Thank you so much for dropping by and just saying hi, Sir Cancer.
Yeah, we
Love
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah.
Paladin, great art, man.
Wiz.
Thank you so much, Wiz. Awesome.
The
I'm so
Pickled
glad
Hag,
we're all
thank you for
doing
the follow.
Yeah, Pickled Hag, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the biddies. So awesome. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Cantab. Het erotic.
Oh no.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
TX
Hederic.
Blaze, thanks for the follow. And Kimo, thanks for the host. Grey Paladin Art, thanks for the host.
Thank you so much.
I Make Things Up, thanks for the bits. We make things up too.
We do.
What we do.
Like that entire scene.
Yeah.
Paladin.
I want
Man,
autoerotic art.
Spirit animal.
I just
That escalated. So
Not the art I'm expecting, but
you can put it on your fridge, babe. Look, I got character art.
make Gloria so taken down. She won't let me come back.
Yes, this stream went in unexpected directions tonight.
Yeah, my phone hasn't blown up, so I know she didn't watch.
Tell me, naughty Gloria.
You come home meow. She does not share.
But no, you're so welcome, Great Paladin. But honestly, like just the fact that you stopped by and watched me so much, and hopefully you catch us on our VODs, or hopefully you find a way to like catch us some other time in the future. I know the time difference is super brutal. We just appreciate that you just hung out, and had some tea. That's what's up.
That and you know what he's talking about when he's talking to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing you do?
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
Well, we do.
I have
Mostly, but we help.
I don't know if she's behind or if she finally caught up. And she just sent me a message.
She's probably like, how dare you speak about watching?
Yeah, did you watch that? Did you like really pay attention and watch it though?
Valen's gonna steal them away from you. Just saying.
Thalen couldn't help it. He just made it so much worse. It was
Is
great.
Matt jealous?
No, I'm secure. Me and him are inseparable.
Yeah, we go back like a long ways.
Yeah.
What we have
It's special.
It's
my
real.
God, they finish each other's words.
Jesus, look
Oh
at
my
that.
gosh.
They're real bros. They go way back.
Ooh, you're getting challenged, Rowan.
Oh, Tibbs.
Come
Is
on.
that a challenge I feel?
I believe the proper term is "come at me, bro."
Come at me, bro.
Bro, get over here so you can be
Bro,
squatted and be
yes.
knighted, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah.
Listen, I put in a bunch of work the last 2 days the other night, and I figured out I have my deck too, so we're gonna have some real fun.
Andy's a
Oh.
contender now.
Yeah.
The contender is
I picked
entering.
up a couple of additional nasty little cards that I put into the deck today on suggestion from Reddit.
Reddit's a scary place when it comes to magic.
Oh yeah.
It is
good.
not a friendly place.
I went there, I searched, I was like,
Aww.
white cards that are brutal, and they were like, listen, do you have rare shards? And I'm like, I do. And they were like, get these 2 cards, and your friends will hate you. I was like, I will do that.
White cards that are brutal.
God, I know. Oh, you're
Thank you for the
evil. I
follow.
think I know what they are.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You know what's the opposite of white?
Wolf eat wolf. What up, bro?
This guy.
Wolf eat wolf.
Two
I'm the
evil.
biggest wolf. Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that is an old ass card right there.
Well, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Hall of fucking Legends. You are awesome, and we appreciate your
Hi,
picks.
Peanut
Welcome to
Coffee.
Legendary Action.
Yeah,
Please do
love you,
come
love
back
you.
because we will be doing
Man,
a
the
giveaway.
emotion.
We're creeping and
And,
crawling to that 500. Yes.
Bring money. That's the rule.
Bring money. Welcome to Legendary Action.
Bring
Bring that
I'm so
coming.
sorry, man. We're wrapping up the show. Hopefully, if you were I don't know, if maybe you were lurking or something or whatever, but if you did watch the show and you appreciated what we did, we appreciate you dropping a follow, and I appreciated even more if you literally dropped in like right now and we're like, hey, these people are fucking awesome. I'm definitely following them. Like either way, we definitely want you back.
I appreciate it too. It's
and
great.
we appreciate the support. We really do.
I'd recommend going back and looking at this episode though, because there's some good
And
stuff.
FYI, update to all of our subs out there, which actually we're back to 40 out of 50 sub points, by the way. Bringing it back up, we earned a couple of additional subs over the Magic the Gathering tournament that we ran for the free subs. Plus, we earned an additional one. So thank you so much, Tilted Tank, for the sub. We appreciate it.
Ooh, tilted. Ooh.
But we have 3 brand new emotes that are coming. We have 2 dropping into the tier 1 sub slot. By popular demand, one is Bork for the dog.
For
the
Sasha
doggo,
Bear.
and it is awesome. It is awesome. And then the other one, tier 1, is going to be, I think I settled on, no, we're going to put Fireball there.
Yeah?
Fireball.
Fireball.
For raids and counter raids, we have Fireball, ladies and gentlemen.
Light it up.
Defend our honor, defend the Hall of Legends. Let no enemy leave unscathed.
I like
Scorched
that.
earth, motherfucker.
They will see our emotes and tremble.
Rain fire, by fire be
It's awesome.
purged.
Because look, I know that we promised that the emotes would drop in tiers, and technically Disapproving Lilith should drop from tier 2 to 1, but I think people would really, Malachi, I know that you and a lot of the other people will get a lot of use out of Bork with the doggo, and I think the Fireball would be fun for everybody to have their hands on. So if we earn that 5th emote slot this month, I will drop Disapproving Lilith down to tier 1, and we will commission another emote.
And then then you can disapprove everyone.
Yes, then you can
Disapproval
everything
for all of
everybody
you.
does everywhere on
Let
Twitch.
us know what you want that emote to be.
Also,
we get a new
the
one.
last emote coming in, and this is perfect for you guys when our players fuck up. A natty 1. A natural 1
Covered in blood.
covered
Classic.
in blood.
Classy.
It's super
Disapproval
dope.
Yeah, it
disapproval intensifying.
Now
Yes.
everyone has a 20 or a 1, but not like this. It's classic.
That die is bleeding.
The bleed.
John Triggerson, is that Rainbow 6?
Yeah.
Did you hit champion on Rainbow 6 on the test server? That's super fucking dope, dude. Congrats.
Good job, mate.
Well, good shooting, good hunting.
But
Yes,
that being
sir.
said, don't forget that we are still working on that 500 follower giveaway. So when the giveaway comes,
Oh shit.
Wolfie Wolf!
Wolfie
Take
Wolf!
the subscription!
oh my God! Thank
Creeping
you,
up
Wolf.
there.
Welcome. You are now a legend. You get
Make sure-
access to all of our emotes, plus the new ones coming up, plus access to the subscriber-only channel in our Discord, which you can find the link down below, or just hit exclamation point Discord in the channel and grant you access to that. Keep up to date with all of our shenanigans.
Do
As a matter
join
of
us.
fact, we love you. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. We really appreciate all the support.
Yeah. welcome to the
Everything
hall.
goes directly back into the channel.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Everything.
it does. Everything.
Everything.
But
We do it
yeah,
for you.
we are doing a giveaway. 500 followers. Limited edition D&D 5e core rulebook set. Get them while they're hot, because you never know. At the rate this is going, this might be the last set available for sale. It's taking us a while to get there. Plus, you're going to get a bunch of cool minis so that you can start playing with an adventuring party. Enemies to slay. You're going to get dice, and you're going to get 2 pounds of fudge from Fudge Love and Craze, your choice of flavor from his store. So, do that. Follow us. You can find us on our Twitter handles. Check us out. And as always, support the other streamers that are in here on a regular basis. Give them a follow, give them a check out. You know, you got the Meta Mike here and Roland Doyle both have their own streams attached to us as well, and they're super awesome. They play a variety of different games, including Rainbow Six. Plus, on Thursdays, they co-host games for Legendary Action. We just last night did Magic the Gathering. That was super fun. But we're working on some new stuff. We're trying to get stuff together and get it all figured out, get this whole Twitch thing figured out so we can give you awesome stuff.
And maybe do some MTG stuff too, because there's a lot of chat.
Yeah.
As a heads up for those that are still here, on Thursday we'll be doing a little bit of a fun event. Me and Rowan Doyle will be taking part in. Sorry, that's kind of making me laugh. We'll be taking part in a Rainbow Siege special under the Legendary Action banner, where me and Rowan Doyle will be having a 2 guys, 1 keyboard event, where me and Rowan will be sharing a keyboard and mouse to see how far we can get. in
Oh my
Siege.
god, I just had a fucking fantastic idea. You guys should play customs, and you should have fucking John Triggerson and fucking Massacre do the same thing on the other side if they could.
They
Massacre
could.
finds someone
One's
else.
One's Midwest, one's West Coast.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Either way, Massacre could find somebody.
Ooh.
2v2 with one.
He might know a person or two in his area.
You're in this chat right
do you
now.
have friends, Massacre?
Do you have friends?
You have friends? Oh, God.
like in your area,
Yeah.
friends? We all have internet friends. I consider many of you my internet friends, if not all of you, aside from the bots. Blank you bots.
These guys aren't friends.
That's totally right.
No one in this chat right now is friends. They're family.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you thought.
Well,
you thought-
I consider my family that I wouldn't be friends with, I don't associate with. So, I'm a terrible person. Whatever.
Ooh, he'll look into it.
They'll look into
The
it.
ch-
Either way, it could
I
be
have
someone.
pulled out my white glove and I have hit you with it, sir. The challenge has been set.
Don't you have to like flick of the wrist? on a
He's
certain
like an
strategy?
entirely different state away, so it's like he felt the smack. All right, he felt it. That's what matters.
Either way, we appreciate all the support. We appreciate everybody dropping in, hanging out, seeing what this is all about. So, we're going to call it a night at that, but we're going to send you over to another channel. So, hang out, participate in the raid, please. Let's
Show some Lumi
let's show
love.
some Lumi love in somebody
Lumi
else's
love.
chat.
Lumi
Hang
love.
out for. We always encourage you to hang out for a little while, see what the channel's all
Yeah,
about.
give 'em a
and,
shot.
Give them a shot. See what's going on, because you know what? You all gave us a shot, and we started with nothing and with nobody, just like any other streamer.
Just
does.
hope,
Actually, I'm gonna start looking around.
just hope and dreams.
Just hoping dreams is currency for life.
That's
But here you all are, and you come back. So
Love you guys.
I hope that your week is as legendary as our night was. So we'll see you Thursday. We'll see you Thursday. If not tomorrow for Scary Panda Night, where Amanda plays games that
Metroid.
Yeah, and all the
Metro.
time on the internet, just in Discord
wrong
and stuff.
again.
Metro. Last Light.
It's a good. Yeah, it's good. So you can see her shenanigans, watch her scream at stuff when like things don't move as she thinks move. Whatever, it's fucking hilarious. But that being said, have a good night, everybody, and stick around for that raid. We're gonna find somebody, participate, spam those Lumi Love emotes, and show them your appreciation. Let them know that they're awesome, and give them a chance. See what they're all about.
Roomy.
But
We're
yeah,
going.
have a good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Not everybody. I'm going to Disneyland.